going on, everybody? And welcome back to the Hangout spot where you already know it's Real Talk Boxing Talk. Live from my man cave, it's your boy Johnny, and I am your host for another edition of the Hangout Spot Live. This time, the Tuesday night edition.
Let's get ready to rumble!
And I just want to thank everybody for rocking out last night, man. We did a call-in show, man, and it was popping, bro. We went for about 2.5 hours. There was a lot to talk about, man. The calls absolutely were excellent, as always, man. We started these call-in shows about a week and a half, and they've been a success, man. You know, the community's coming out, voicing their opinions. There was a ton of stuff to talk about with the cards that went on this past weekend, man. But we are right back at it here on a Tuesday. You know how we do here at the Hangout Spot. We're trying to deliver the biggest and best interviews from all figures in the boxing community. And tonight we got an absolute banger, bro. We got co-owner and CEO of Fighters First Management. My man Adrian Clark is in the building. And as you know, we've interviewed a bunch of his fighters already that fight under the Fighters First Management banner. We've interviewed prospect Justin Figueroa. We've interviewed contender Justin Paldo, the $1 Million Man. And we've also interviewed, family man, the WBO welterweight champion, Brian Norman Jr. Adrian is doing an excellent job in the boxing community. A lot of great programs that he's doing, including a new boxing manager certificate course that he just rolled out recently. We want to get his thoughts on that, as well as his uprise in the world of boxing, man, because you guys know, man, with me, it's not just interviewing fighters and trainers, right? We want to interview all figures. And as you know, the business of boxing definitely intrigues me, the back end business. Since I started doing this, I've noticed that the business of boxing, can be very, very shady. A lot going on in the back end. A lot of people would call it out of control. So it intrigues me to know what goes on behind the scenes, especially with negotiations and things of that nature, dealing with fighters, dealing with promoters, dealing with the network. So I thought it was a great idea to get Mr. Clark in the building. But before I bring him in, you guys know the ground rules here at the Hangout Spot. If you're watching this live on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button. The goal is to get this boxing channel into the algorithm of other boxing fans so they know we rock out every weeknight, almost every weeknight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We started doing 2 shows a week. Now we're doing 3, sometimes 4. The weekends, we're doing post-fight chats. We're doing call-in shows. So again, spread the word, man, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the Hangout Spot, make sure you do that. More importantly, tell a friend to tell a friend. If we intend to turn this train into a locomotive, we're going to need more passengers. And last but not least, the chat is open, man. But if you want to ask our guests a question, again, I'm going to strongly suggest that you use the super chat function because the chat usually starts cooking. You guys are communicating with each other, and I love it, but I can't sift through all the comments. So if you want a comment or a question to be read, super chat is the way to go. It also provides your boy with a donation, and if you want to make any other donations, my Cash App is scrolling in the bottom of the screen. But without further ado, like I said, man, I want to bring my guest in, and I've been trying to get him on for quite some time, and he's been gracious enough to give us some time tonight. So I want to bring in my guy, Adrian Clark, man. He's in the building. What's going on, man? Welcome to the Hangout Spot, my brother.
I appreciate it, my man. Appreciate you having me on, brother. I appreciate it.
Nah, man. Listen, we've been trying to make this happen for quite some time, but everything happens for a reason. And if we would have done this about a month ago, we wouldn't have been able to talk about the whole boxer manager certificate program because you recently rolled that out, I believe, a couple of weeks ago, right?
I think it was like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So
yeah, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So everything happens for a reason because I would have been like, damn, man, why didn't I have rolled out before I got him here? We could have talked about that because that is a game changer, man. That's a trendsetter, man. You don't see stuff like that, out there. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this something that
you probably seen Fight Promoter University? Roy Engelbright put out Fight Promoter University like in like 90s. It was a while ago when he put it out. Maybe 2000 something, but it was more so for promoters. So he's like really the only one to kind of do something, but I'm probably the only one to do it for boxing management.
And I do want to get into the intricacies of it, right? I want you to break it down for my viewers,
Yep.
and talk about why you decided to now is a good time to do that. But it'd be a little bit better if we kind of go back a little bit to like where the journey started, right? I want to get my viewers to get to know you. Right.
Gotcha.
And I know that you're extremely accomplished. You've done a lot of great things out of, out of college in the sporting world, not just boxing, but take me back to where it started, what inspired you to work in the business of boxing, and then up to what up to the point where, you made that decision to say, "Maybe this boxing is the way to go," with managing fighters.
Well, I really think the sport chose me because I damn sure didn't choose it. My brother, he died in 2006, but when we were younger, man, my brother used to always want to fight me. I was the younger brother, so I was always the one to get ass whoopings from him. So we grew up watching. He loved Mike Tyson, and then I later found Roy Jones, and like I think Roy was my blueprint to like finally beat my brother. I've only beat him in one fist fight, and I still remember that like it was yesterday. But once my brother died, man, I was kind of just in a daze, bro, just not knowing what to do. I was on my like fourth or fifth college at the time. I was just in a whirlwind, bro, and I got accepted to Texas A&M down in Corpus Christi, and it was far enough away from home, but close enough because my mom and dad still mourning also the loss of my brother. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go, and I went. And I remember I saw this guy. I was in my dorm, man, and I seen this dude running every day. It was running, and I'm like, bro, where's this dude fucking going? Why is he running so much? And he turned out to be a boxer. His name was Oscar Salinas from Brownsville. And I stopped him one day. I'm like, bro, why are you running so much? And he's like, man, I'm a boxer. I fight. And I asked him, could I go to the gym with him? And like that was my first time going into a boxing gym. And man, I fell in love with it. And I wouldn't lie to y'all and say, I was a standout amateur, but I wasn't. I started late, and my first year I made it to the semifinals of the Golden Glove tournament in Corpus. But then the next year, man, I met a dude named Timothy Tipton, bro, and shit, the first 30 seconds of the fight, he hit me with a weaving right hook. And man, I don't remember hitting the ropes. I don't remember clinching. I don't remember nothing until the ref was like, yo, like, are you okay? Like, walk to me. And I went to take a step and I stumbled. And he called a fight. And I remember watching the film because my college like roommate, they all came to the fight and they showed me the film. And bro, that shit was like crazy to watch. And I'm like, yo, I ain't go to school 5 years to get punched in the face for a living and then end up like that. So that right hook knocked me into the business side of boxing, but it wasn't immediate. I started off trying to be an NBA agent, and I became an NBA agent at a very young age of, I think, 23, 24. But boxing kept pulling me. Boxing was every time I tried to go basketball, something with boxing would pull me in, and that's really how the journey started. My first client was Jerry Belmontes, and he sought me out. He remembered me from Corpus and seeing me around town. That was my first client based off of him seeing me in the city and then him knowing that I work with NBA players. So he figured, like, if you help pro athletes, you can help me out. Like that's literally how my career started. So it wasn't like I did boxing to become a boxing manager. I didn't know what the hell a boxing manager was. I knew what a sports agent was, and come to find out, it's the same damn thing. It just has a different title.
I was just gonna
Um,
ask you that.
yeah, same thing, same exact thing. It's just different title and different structure. But like that's how my career started. I started managing athletes at the age of 23 years old, man, and shit, I'm 38 now, and it's been a blur. It went by so fast, but it's been amazing, bro. I wouldn't change anything for the world.
That's dope, man. 15 years in the business, man. And but you're right. You're talking about two different business models, right? The NBA and
Yeah,
boxing, right? The
yeah,
NBA I would consider to be more structured from a business perspective. Boxing is,
not.
can I say this effectively, all over the place, right?
Yeah, very much so, very
Very
much
much
so.
all over the place, right? Again, you
Yeah.
can say that. I'm just making an assumption based on what I see behind the scenes, but you're living it. So that's kind of crazy. So was that your intention coming out of school? Like, is that what you majored and you wanted to do?
Yeah, to be honest, man, I was a lazy student. I fell in love with the nightlife of college, the girls and the freedom. That's what I mastered in that in college. But as far as my studies go, I regret not taking my studies a little bit more seriously because I should have ended up in somebody's law school, but instead I just graduated with a major in communications or a degree in communications and a minor in business. But I wish I would have taken things a little bit more seriously. But again, boxing found me in Corpus, So that was my kind of like my ticket was punched in Corpus to get into the business side of boxing. But I always wanted to work with pro athletes, even when I was a kid. I knew I wasn't gonna go pro, but a lot of my friends ended up in the NBA or the NFL or something of that nature. So I always wanted to be the guy that kind of spoke for them. Arliss, the show Arliss, was big when I was younger, and he was a sports agent. So I took a liking to it, and that's what I wanted to do, and here I am.
And you were born and raised in Texas,
Born and raised in Dallas, Texas, man. Born and raised in Dallas, Texas.
meaning you're a Cowboy fan and you're probably a Dallas Maverick fan.
No, sir, I'm not a Cowboys fan at all.
Really?
I
Wow.
despise the Cowboys. My dad raised me on the Niners,
Okay.
so yeah, I grew up in Dallas as a Niners fan, and
Wow.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. You can only imagine. So I despise the Cowboys. Respect the organization because great business organization, but yeah, not a Cowboys fan at
That's
all.
crazy to say that because you know how many people I run into that are not born and raised in Dallas, have never been to Texas, but are Cowboy fans, but you were
Oh,
there.
yeah, yeah. Jolene Mazone, the president of
Right.
Fighters First. She's from Jersey, Jersey girl, but she's a diehard Cowboys fan. It's sad to be honest with you.
Wow, pretty interesting. But you're a Mavs. Are you a Mavs fan in basketball?
Yeah, actually, I am. I can admit that I am a Mavs fan in basketball. For the longest, of course, growing up, Michael Jordan was the guy in the '90s. So you followed the Bulls.
Same
But
here.
yeah, once that broke up, it's like you got to pick a team, or I picked individuals to follow. But if I had to pick a team, then yeah, man, I'm definitely a Dallas Mavericks fan.
Well, I guess the reason why I asked you that is because how disappointed were you when they traded Luca, and then how happy are you now that they got the first pick in the draft?
I wasn't as disappointed as other fans in the city. Luka's a great talent, but um, defensively, I think he did. Me personally, I think he did hurt the Mavs a bit defensively, but he was so dynamic offensively, it covered up for how much he lacked on defense. But I still wouldn't have. I would have gotten more for the trade if I was in Nico's spot, but a lot of people can say that we don't have his job. But I just thought, just straight up, Anthony Davis was a bit light. I thought, more draft picks or try to aim to get a couple more players would have suit better. But I'm happy they got the first pick. I hope they pick Cooper Flag, and they have a good team with Coop and AD. Even though can AD stay healthy? Kyrie coming back healthy. They got a really good squad, man. Clay coming back, so I think they can contend next year to be a threat coming out of the West.
That's what's up, man. I'm here with Fighters First Management CEO Adrian Clark. He's in the building here in the Hangout spot. I digress, man. Let's get back to boxing. Let's get back to boxing. I just thought that was interesting because I'm a sports guy, so I just wanted to get your perspective on that. But
Gotcha.
so, talk to me about your first experience managing this fighter because I've seen some of your other interviews, and you said that basically you were learning on the fly.
Oh
How
yeah,
hard, how hard was that to know that you are managing someone's career is in your hands, but you're not as experienced as some of the other people, so you're kind of learning. So talk to me about some of the growing pains and how hard that was.
ignorance is bliss, man. It really is because I really didn't know how hard or difficult entrepreneurship was, but I really didn't know how difficult boxing management was going to be. I was 23 years old, just turning 24 when Jerry and I started working together, and we had instantly contract dispute with the promoter that he signed with because Jerry was signed with Top Rank, and in like one fell swoop, he had a bad performance, and Top Rank dropped him, and then his longtime manager Lou Mezzarana, God rest his soul, Lou like stopped working with Jerry, and he's this 11-0 prospect with no management, and he approached me to manage him, and I honestly like I don't know shit about boxing. I know I've been inside the ring before, but the business side I know nothing
But you
about.
were right. You've been in the ring and you were a fan of boxing, but obviously the business portion of it was new to
Man,
you.
I didn't know anything, and I'm thinking, okay, well, let me just Google like what it is. Maybe I can find something on the internet. Nothing, and then I'm trying to think, okay, well, who's a boxing manager? Who can I call? Like nobody. I couldn't think of anybody at the time. So it was like one of them things to where I'm like, all right, I gotta just fake it. I gotta fake like I know what I'm doing. and use my words, and then just try to build my relationships with who I could find. And Jerry did a good job of giving me the people I should reach out to, and it was on me to like make those relationships. But bro, it was a bitch, man. It's just I was so young and hungry at the time that I really didn't process how difficult it really was until later on, looking back, like, damn, how the hell did I survive that like with him? But as you look back, knowing what I know now, there were just so many mistakes I made with Jerry, and I can say now that I mismanaged his career. Looking back on it, even though we made it to a world title and Jerry got to fight on TV and made money, there was just so much I didn't know as a 24-year-old. I made so many mistakes, and the 10 losses he ended up with, like I put a lot of those on me because I should have had him go sit down, and he should have stayed with Derrick James and his dad in the corner. There were so many mistakes, man. So but I can look back at that now and admit that. But if it wasn't for those mistakes and those shortcomings, I don't think I would be the CEO or the manager that I am today. So I hate that it went that way, but um, I end up learning a lot through my mistakes.
I appreciate the transparency, man. Like I said, it takes a big person to come out and just admit their mistakes. And again, for my viewers, when you're doing something new and you don't have the experience of the people and you're learning on the fly, that's not an easy thing to do, to navigate, especially through the business of boxing, man.
Oh
Again,
yeah,
I
man.
can't stress that enough, man. It's a crazy, crazy business. But so tell me some of the other experiences. Like, who did you work with after that? Did you work with Errol Spence?
Yeah, but after that was down the road.
Okay.
I
So that
we
was when
knew,
you were a lot more established,
yeah, we
experienced?
knew each other when I was working with Jerry, but after Jerry came James De La Rosa, and even with that, like I was still I didn't hit the ground running as a young boxing manager. Man, I hit the ground tumbling. I tumbled through managing Jerry, and then when I got to James, and I had met James at Jerry's first TV fight down in Far, Texas, and I just remember him coming into the locker room, and when I looked him up after the fight, I'm like, damn, like this is somebody I would want to work with, and um, end up working with James, but I was still tumbling. There was still a lot of things I just didn't know. But James ended up giving me an opportunity, man. And our first fight was Angulo. It was on the Mayweather Mayweather Maidana rematch. That was our first fight, and like
Wow, okay.
my like one of my first like big negotiations. And I remember negotiating with Rob Diaz, and he was like, "Listen, man, like 40,000 is the best I can do for this fight." And he was like, "I can go with somebody else and then give them 20,000, and they like your guy won't get the opportunity." And I was like, "Fuck, man, Rob, give me 43,000." And he was like, "Okay, 43,000, we can do that." And everybody thought we was gonna lose. There was so much crazy shit that happened that week. That was like uh, his drug test didn't come back on time. It was something where they thought they were gonna have to cancel the fight. I remember pulling James out to the hallway, like, "Bro, are we like is everything legit? Like, did you take anything? Like, tell me now, bro." And he's like, "Nah, like I'm good." He was so chill through that process, and then he ended up getting the upset, like beating Angulo, and it was just crazy, man. But even through that, I feel like I made some mistakes with James, even though I think we hit some strides. Because after that fight, we got an HBO date against Hugo Centeno. Again, a lot of strides, but still, I was tumbling as a manager, making a lot of mistakes, and negotiations kind of botched on my behalf for him. So still was tumbling with De La Rosa, but I think after James, I kind of found my footing, and things picked up from there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, at what age did you finally feel like, you know what? Now I feel like, I'm in my comfort zone with this sport, man, based on some of the experience that I've been through. You
Yeah,
started at 23. What would you say would be the age where you've kindly felt like, yes, I belong?
like 26 maybe,
Okay.
26, 27, because that was Jerry's like first world title shot was at 27. That was a controversial split decision loss to Omar Figueroa on Showtime. But at that point, I kind of knew my way around and how to navigate and who to talk to and who not to talk to, and how to move in the industry. So it took me about 4 years without any help to like really figure it out. And like now I was running at that point. I wasn't tumbling anymore. I had found my footing, and that's when Willie Monroe Jr. came into the picture. And first fight was John Thompson in New York, and then the second fight was Gabe Rosado on the co-main event to Canelo Liam Smith in Dallas. So by that time, I'm like, okay, I got this shit down now. I know what I'm doing. I know how to navigate. Like let's get it popping now, and things took off.
Now we can start cooking. All right, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Adrian Clark's in the building, y'all. Again, if you haven't smashed that like button, make sure you do that. Subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. The chat is cooking. But if you guys want to ask a question to Mr. Adrian Clark, you're gonna have to super chat it because the chat is gonna start getting busy in a little while. But talk to me about the recruiting process. I've always been intrigued about that. So, is trying to recruit a fighter the same as like trying to recruit a college recruit, for the NCAA? Is that one of those things, or is it similar? Is it different?
No, it's totally different. It's totally different. Like basketball players, football players, they require so much before the draft and things like that, and you're dealing with different money at that time. Like gotta get picked up first round or something like that. There's millions of dollars involved, so you need so much money to even get them to sign with you. In boxing, it's more of a poor man's sport, so it's really based off of the vibe and the relationship with the fighters and their family, um, and then the relationships that you have. So totally different. But I like to go with because in the beginning, like I didn't really have guys sign contracts like that. And I was really going off of handshake, like, bruh, I'm not holding nobody hostage. Like I'm gonna put in the work for you. All I ask is that you pay me kind of what I'm due for putting this thing together. But the recruiting process for me, I like to vibe out with the fighters, man. I really want to because you become friends with these guys and pretty much family. So I like to sit with them, sit with their families, and really get to know who they are, more on a personal side, and then from there you kind of break down, all right, what type of fighter they are, strengths, weaknesses. Can they get signed with a promoter? How much money will it take? You go into all that after really getting to know who they are as a person. That's really valuable for me as a manager.
The handshake thing is weird, right? Because you put in so much, and then at the drop of the dime, these guys could decide to make a left turn and go elsewhere. Like, how difficult is
But
that,
that's
man? Especially
but
like you said, when you uh, build relationships, and sometimes they become family.
yeah, but that's like in the NBA and NFL, other major sports, bro. You don't sign a player as a manager or agent to a 3-year deal where they can't fire you. As an agent, you can get fired at any moment. Like
You know what I'm saying?
you can be doing your job like to the best of your ability, but something happens or the fighter or the player gets an offer elsewhere or they see the grass is green on the other side and they go with another agent. Like you're not protected. It's like working in corporate America. You can go to work every day and bust your ass and still get fired after a hard day's work because they either replace you with somebody else or whatever. But in boxing, like I think a lot of managers play it safe because they know that okay, well, I got them locked into a contract and they can't fire me for 3 to 5 years. Like they have to just deal with either my bullshit or me not getting them fights. And this piece of paper is like what's dangled in front of them. Like, oh well, you may be unhappy or you may not be fighting, but you can't fire me because the contract says so. Man, I don't believe in that shit. Like I'm not holding nobody hostage. If we rocking out together and it's working, then let's move forward. If it's not working or you feel like you want to go elsewhere, as long as you don't owe me no money, then shit, you can go. Like you only got one career, and I'm not gonna be the one to hold you back essentially. So I don't. That's the one thing I don't like about boxing management. It's like the fighters are like locked into these contracts by people that are working for them. Like it makes zero sense, but people feel like it's the thing to do. But it kind of irks me. But that's what it is.
Yeah, man, that's what it is. We keep going back to the same thing, right? The business of boxing is kind of all over the place. How hard is it to negotiate? Like, I want you to give my viewers a perspective of a few things, right? Because we're looking at it from the outside, right? Fighter wants a certain amount of money, and in my opinion, Adrian, I don't believe that fighters negotiate enough. Like the word negotiation doesn't mean as much as it did years and years ago. And I'm going to give you an example why. Far too often, we're looking at situations where, and again, we're seeing this through social media, right? Where a fighter will send another fighter an offer, They feel lowballed, fights off. Like, where's the negotiation? Where's the comeback? Where's well, you know what? That's a little too far fetched, but this is my, my rebuttal. And you work like it. Does that even exist anymore? Because it looks like it doesn't more often than not.
I mean, when people say, one fighter sent off, if like I saw somebody in the comment talked about like the whole duck and boot situation. It's like I laugh at that shit. Like fans be saying that shit like it like bothers me. I'm like, bruh, I got a job to do, and that's to negotiate on my client's behalf. But like Jerron Ennis doesn't send Brian Norman an offer like that. I don't know where people get that shit from, but that's not how it goes. Jerron Ennis is signed with Matchroom, and Matchroom has a lot of money, and they're very high on Jerron Ennis. Brian is signed with Top Rank. That's our promoter. So Matchroom sent an offer to Top Rank, and then Top Rank let us know, what the offer was or whatever. So we essentially negotiate through our promotional companies. But today, after I did the boxing voice this morning, I reached out to Eddie Hearn myself, like via text, like, bro, like let's kind of cut the lawyers out for right now, and like let's me and you talk. Like you're the head of your promotional company. Like even though Brian's with Top Rank, I'm the head of Fighters First Management. Like let's me and you talk and hash this thing out to where if it's dollars and cents in between, then let's get that shit right, and then the lawyers can take it from there. But it's not a situation of Jerron Innocent and Brian an offer. Matchroom makes the offer. Top Rank lets us know. And then like that's the negotiation. We just go back and forth as we did the first time around. They made an offer. We countered. They made an offer, like we countered, and then I think by the third time they walked away. Once it got to like 1.7, he was saying that they had their mandatory and we wasted the deadline or some shit like that. But they walked away from the negotiation, and we were about $300,000 short of what we wanted at that time to make the fight happen. So, people say ducking and shit, but it's like, bro, the fighters want to fight. It's just they got representatives that work to get them the best deal possible to make the fight happen. So it's like that ducking shit or people tagging me talking shit. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck about nothing you talking about. There's a job to be done, and it'll get done. Like those guys will fight. It's just the point of making sure that the deal and the money makes sense. But it's never okay. This is a fighter send another fight an offer. The promotional companies do that, and us as managers, we're the middleman in between the two that look to either make it happen or prevent it.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I took a lot of bullets too because I was explaining to viewers like you guys don't understand like Brian Norman Jr. is taking all the risks, right? He's going to Philly. He's a champion now. It's a little
Mhm.
bit different. Like people are quick to say, "Well, why did he turn down that when it would have been his biggest payday? His last fight, he made 250." But that doesn't matter, bro. The
Right.
stakes change. He's a
Mhm.
champion now. He brings something to the table. And the problem with today's boxing is that belts don't carry enough weights because there's so many of them, right? So in
Yeah.
certain boxing fans, they don't consider that weight to the table. He's a champion. This is a unification fight. Make it worth his while.
Yeah,
And
but
no, but he's ducking. He should have took
oh,
that,
bro,
like
the
payday.
fans don't care, Jay. Like the fans don't care, and
Sure.
it's like, yeah, I don't I got respect for. I'm a fan of the sport. I'm a fan of a lot of sports, but it should be tripping me out how it becomes like the pocket counting. I'm like, bro, like we got so much flack for the Santion, like, oh, how y'all turned down 1.7 million. If I didn't believe in Brian Norman Jr., then yeah, it's like the first big offer we get, like take it because it's like, well, we don't believe that he'll go win other fights to increase his market value. So you take that one big offer, but like we believe in Brian Norman Jr. So like, bro, go get your weight up, go get your money up, like beat Cuevas, and then like go get the overseas bag, which is a lot of money. It's your biggest payday. Go get that, and then they can't lowball us coming back from Japan, and you going to beat a really good fighter in Sasaki, then we can come back to America and then we go to Philly and fight against Boots. But Brian has done a good job of actually getting his weight up. It's just the fans won't let go of all. Well, he made 100 grand when he fought Santillan, and he's like, bro, think about that. He made 100 grand. He wasn't the champion at the time. Now he's the champion, and the deal at that time was 1.7. Of course, we're going to want more money. Given that yesterday's price is not today's price, but I'm not trying to price him out of the fight. I just want to make sure that he gets the money that he deserves. We understand we have to go to Philly to fight this guy. That's the deal. Like, we're not going to Vegas. We're not going to Atlanta. We got to go to his backyard because that's where they essentially started the fire at to build this kid up. So, it is what it is. But the fight is going to get done. They're going to fight. It's just everybody need to just chill. Shit. It's not like Pacquiao, Mayweather. Shit. You have to wait for all this. In boxing, y'all gotta wait for a lot of shit. So just let us do our thing, man, and the fights will happen.
There you go, man. CEO of Fighters First Management, letting y'all know that the fight that y'all want to see is going to happen. The fight that we all want to see. I spoke to Brian Jr. about it. I've had him on the show a couple of times. He's like a brother, man. He's always showing love to the Hangout spot. As all your fighters, you guys are all family to me. And he said it. He said, obviously, they didn't think a lot of me, by not giving us what I want. So I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna prove that I'm worth that. And then we're gonna come back to the table. And like you said, yesterday's price is not today's price. But one thing I do want you to clarify before we move on past this is explain to everybody, because it's not just the fighter gets offered $1.7 million, they pay taxes, and they go home with the rest. There's just so many other things on the back end. And I remember having Senior on here, and he explained you got fees, you got this, you got obviously he was fighting for Top Rank, so they were gonna have to pay a fee, obviously, to let him cross over. Explain that situation and why you wanted the $2 million instead of the 1.7.
Oh, bro, it's like it's a seven-figure fight. So it's a seven-figure fight. I expect my client to go home with seven figures. If it's a seven-figure fight, but he's going home with six figures, like that shit don't make sense to me. It's like if you work at a job and you're an employee, but then you get promoted to be an executive of the company, a president or a CEO, but it's like they're telling you, okay, you're gonna get this promotion, but we're still gonna pretty much pay you the same. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to get executive money, but just stay ambitious and chase greatness, and eventually you'll get more money. Like, bro, nobody wants to hear that shit. Like, Brian is world champion now. He earned that, and want more money. But yeah, bro, he has to pay for quote unquote crossing the street. It's like you have to pay your promoter for that. When you fight under your promotional banner, you don't have to pay anything for fighting under your promotional banner. When we fought Cuevas, there was no percentage to pay Top Rank. However, Top Rank is not going to promote the show with Matchroom. They're going to co-promote it, but it's going to be Matchroom's show. So therefore, there's a fee that he has to pay, and it's in everybody's promotional contract. If you sign with a promoter and you're going to go fight under another promotional company, there's a fee that you have to pay from your purse, whether it's 20% or 30%, 25%. Like, the percentage is still there that everyone has to pay. So it's not like it's something new. It may be new to fans, but it's not new. So yeah, 1.7 was chopped up to 800, 900,000. Excuse me, 800, 900,000 before taxes, bro. So I'm like, no, like, we want more money. He's gonna go home after paying everybody with seven figures, and if we can't do that, then we just need more money. And they walked away from it. But again, from our standpoint, cool, walk away. We'll go get our money up. So when we come back, it'll all make sense. But again, the fans don't care because it's like they don't, and this is no shot at them, but it's just the truth. Like, Brian Norman made a couple six figure, he made six figures for what, 9 minutes of work against Cuevas. Like,
Mhm.
he made six figures, mid six figures for 9 minutes of work. Like, some people don't make that shit in 2, 3, 4 years, man. So it's like the fans are gonna see any amount and be like, yo, they should have took that because I would have took that. But it's like, yeah, of course you would have took that. It's like you're making 40,000 a year, but you got a chance to make $1.7 million for 36 minutes of work or 40 minutes. Like, of course you're gonna do it. So that's the thing. Like I said, I don't work for fans. Respect, even though a lot of fans be dissing and talking shit, that should be hilarious as fuck. But I'm like, bro, I don't work for fans, and I don't do this to appease the fans. The fighters can say, we're doing it for the fans, but from a management standpoint, I ain't doing this shit for the fans. Doing this shit for my clients. So it's like, respect it or not, that's just what it is.
For sure, man. If you guys got a question or a comment in the chat, you're gonna have to super chat it because there's a lot of to sift through here. But yeah, man, listen, it is what it is. People don't understand that. You got to do what's in the best interest of the fighter. And now I believe that the turkey, you hear me, turkey, did Eddie come back and trying to get back to the table, man? What's that
Man,
looking
I
like,
don't
man?
know what he going. Honestly, the the ball is in his court really, but I'm here to get a deal done. Jolene is here to get a deal done. You know, the Normans let us know to get a deal done with them. So from our standpoint, he got to do what he has to do in Japan. Like we can't look past that fight. He does fight Jin Sasaki on June 19th. So it'll be a grave mistake to be looking at a Boots fight and then you overlook a guy in Jin Sasaki. So go do what you need to do in Japan, and then once you get back, we'll make sure that we negotiate a deal that makes sense, and we'll see the fight happen in the fall.
Man, that's exciting, man. Because I told Junior that's the fight that I want, man. I want him to be the first one to knock off Boots, bro.
Word, word, word.
I'm here with Adrian Clark, y'all. I'm here with Adrian Clark, Fighters First Management CEO, co-owner. Man, it's an honor to have you in the building. I want to bring in my guy though, one of my guys from the Boxing Voice community, man, who is our version. So he's the Boxing Voice's version of like the matchmaker, right? The business manager, right? He calls in with all these, fights and, the fighter should be negotiating this and that. And he wanted to meet you and he had some questions for you. This is my man, Toledo Treese, man, from Ohio, bro. What's
What's
going
up,
on,
bro?
man?
What up, though? What up, though?
What
Chilling, bro.
up,
How are
man?
you?
You live
What's
with the
going on?
Hangout spot and Adrian Clark, my brother.
How you doing, man? Appreciate you,
Good,
champ.
good family. How are
Appreciate you,
you?
champ. I'm good, man. I just speak. Y'all heard y'all talking about Brian Norman Jr. and whatnot, and I know a lot of these guys trying to rush him in the boots, but I'm one of the guys like he's like I say, I like the match made. I'm like I'm thinking, what's the possibility of him going over to the UK, man? I like him over there in the UK with possibly like a Josh Taylor or something like this. You see me? I think that's a good fight. I had messaged that question to you earlier on the Boxing Voice too. I
I
seen you
was
was
just
on there
about to
earlier.
say somebody said that earlier
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
box. So it was
I
you.
had
Okay, bet,
yeah,
bet.
yeah. I sent that in earlier, and I'm curious. Like, I think that's a good fight. Josh Taylor, former undisputed fighter, been in there with good guys. You feel me? Big names. Been in former opponent for Tio. They
Right.
linking you to Tio. So I think I don't know. I'm just out of curiosity. Like, how could that work? Or
I
you
mean,
know?
it's a possibility, but again, you have to. It's like you can Top Rank can have a plan, and then us as management, we can have a plan. But at the end of the day, bro, this is Brian Norman Jr. career. You know what I'm saying? So it's like between him and his dad, they made it clear that they want to fight against Jerron Ennis. So it's like I can throw at them like, yo, it'd be dope if we can go, you know what I'm saying, to the UK and fight against Taylor. And I can say all that, but at the end of the day, it's on Norman Jr. and Senior to be like, okay, I like that plan. And then, we take it to Carl Moretti and Bob Arum and we go with it. But it's like for right now, it's Jin Sasaki, and then they're looking at to do the fight with Boots. So I love the idea, but it's just one of them things to where you have to do what your client wants you to do, or you get your ass fired. in my instance. So it's
No,
like
for sure,
what I'm
for
saying. But
sure.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's whether whatever happens with Boots, I think it's still something that's going to be on our radar to go to the UK to try to fight against him. But it has to make sense on both ends.
Okay. And I also heard you mentioning y'all know me as well. My guy Johnny, shout out to the hangout spot. He know me, the residential bare knuckle. We
I
love bare
knew
knuckle.
that question
We
was
love
coming.
we love bare knuckle around here. I had to bring it up. I had to bring it up. I heard you bring because I heard you say one of your first title shots was against Angulo, Alfredo Angulo.
Hmm.
His transition into bare knuckle and things like this. We got guys like Guillermo Rigondeaux. We seen Austin Trout just recently defend the title in bare knuckle. I'm curious, like, say you have a fighter on your roster who would like to transition into bare knuckle. Is that something that you would accept, or
Ooh.
you see how? What are your thoughts on bare knuckle
Man,
as a
honestly,
whole?
I haven't even I didn't know Angulo was in it. I knew
Yeah.
I knew Austin Trout was in it, but I didn't know Angulo and Riggin. I didn't know they were in it. If a guy wanted to, I mean, I would have questions, of course. You know what I'm saying? I would have questions about a lot of things, but however I could help, I definitely would be down to help him. But I definitely would have questions. I saw a picture today of a dude that did like bare knuckle and like his face was like split and I'm like, bruh. So I wouldn't knock it. I would have a lot of questions for my client on like why, and then I would want to understand for this type of risk and damage and shit, like what's the pay? How much you gonna get paid
Yeah, yeah.
for this? I would have those type questions, but I wouldn't knock it until I got the information.
Okay. I always just wondered that, man. Johnny know how I'm getting down, man. We love bare knuckle, man. We support it, gotta support it. And I also heard you mentioning about the basketball. I just gotta throw this out here real quick. I was one you seem like you locked in, you know what you're talking about. What you think gonna happen with Giannis, man? We just gotta throw that out there. I'm a Midwest Mafia member. You know Milwaukee over here in the Midwest. If they get rid of Giannis, that could be catastrophic for that franchise. So we just
And so,
curious.
I mean, I saw you from Toledo. You know, my brother is Johnny Bryant. He's the associate head
Okay,
coach at the Cavs. So they playing right
okay.
now.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. We watched. We just that didn't go too well for them, by the way. We
yeah,
just
yeah, it
watched.
did. It went out
Yeah,
bad. But yeah,
yeah.
I was just in Cleveland, shit, like a week or 2 weeks ago for, um, what game was it? It was against who they played the last series, not Indiana, but
Oh,
um, I
oh,
can't
damn.
I
I
can't
can't
remember.
remember either.
I'm drawing a blank, but
Yeah.
I was just in Cleveland. But to be honest, Giannis is, to me, he did what he needed to do for the organization. Man, he brought a championship to Milwaukee. Um, I would. I would look to deal him, but it just depends on the pieces you're getting back, like for him, because again, you're gonna need someone that's gonna kind of lock in and be committed to Milwaukee. You know, Dame went down with the Achilles injury. You don't know how he's gonna come back. So you need a franchise guy that's gonna come in to kind of fill that slot and be committed, just as committed as Giannis was. And right now, I don't know who that is. Do you try to trade up in the draft? Do you? The Mavericks said they wasn't trading number one pick. I was gonna say try to trade them for the number one and try to bring in Cooper Flag, but it just depends on what pieces they bring in.
Okay. Speaking of like when we talk about drafts and we talk about boxing, is like we would like to think of it as a league, Turkey Al Sheik, Dan the White, things like this.
Gotcha.
Like, do you think like a draft is something that could be incorporated into boxing? Like from promoter to promoter, like say Matchroom and Queensberry or PBC and Top Rank want to swap fighters or they want to have a first round pick or they building up talent. Do you think that's something that could be incorporated into boxing?
Drafting and trading, I can't see it right now. The only thing I see that would make sense is if you had a league. Let's say if like let's take PBC. PBC is not a promotional company. PBC is like it's a series for boxing that's made for television. It was never a promotional company, but let's just say if Premier Boxing Champions was like the NBA, if it was the Association of Boxing, if you had PBC as the association, and then under that, like the teams, like you had Matchroom, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Pro Box. If you had all the promotional companies under the model, and then different fighters can sign with the different promotional companies, but everything was under one roof. I think that would be really dope. Because it's like imagine the NBA. Imagine if the Pistons didn't play against the Pacers. Like, no, I don't want to play against them or whatever. All those teams have to play against each other. So if the PBC had something to where different fighters, you had to fight against each other based off of the promoter, I think that would be dope. But trading and drafting, I don't know how that would go. I would have to see a business model to be able to comment
Yeah.
on that. But I do think a league will be possible. But the trades and drafts, I can't see that right now.
I ask because it's like with college football, we know like the NIL, name, image, and likeness is something that's been a big thing in
Yeah,
sports, with college sports right now. And it's like I feel like boxing is one of the few sports that's actually dealt with name, image, and likeness. Like a lot of these fighters have their own logo, they
yeah,
have their own business. You know what I'm saying? So I was like,
I
just
got you.
wondering the
I
similarities
got you.
between a league and boxing. Like if that considering Turkey Al Sheik and Dana White, they here if that's something that we could be headed towards.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I imagine it's going to be like the model in the UFC, to where, and it's something Lou DiBella was speaking on. And I usually don't agree with Lou, but he's a very smart guy. And what he said was, it creates a middle class for boxing, and guys can actually make a living now across the board. Because right now it's like the one percenters. You got a small percentage of guys really making money in the sport, and then the younger guys and the kind of mid level guys, they're not really making no bread because they're not fighting enough. So hopefully what they're planning is, enough shows and enough opportunities to where, even though the purses are not going to be super substantial, but it'll be enough fights and enough time we see these guys to where they can actually make a living from the sport of boxing. So I'm excited to see what they do. I just hope it's something that can sustain and actually create opportunities for all these fighters, especially moving forward. Because eventually, we're watching the era with like Errol Spence and like the Charlos, Deontay Wilder, Keith. All that shit is coming to an end. Those guys are going to be retired in the next year or so. So it's like we're looking at the young guys now, and be interesting to see how this league or whatever they're creating comes into fruition. So I'm excited for it.
So, in your opinion, do we see Errol Spence again?
Yeah, I mean, he's not. He didn't announce his retirement. He never said to anybody he retired. I think he's even commented on social media like, "Bro, if you don't hear nothing from me, then don't believe this shit. It's not true." So me and he talk all the time, and he ain't said once to me like, "Yeah, bro, I'm done," or like I'm retired or whatever. So, at his pace, man. So
Do you
I
think it's possible? Do you think it's so? I don't mean to cut you off. I'm
you
sorry. I
good?
just
You
got to.
good? No, you
Do
good,
you think it's possible that we can get that Keith Thurman fight before it's all said and done? Do we see him and Keith Thurman mix it up?
man. I hope so. I really hope so. It's just, man, with the way this business is, bro. Like I really can't. I can't call it, and then it's of course it's a lot of shit I can't openly speak on in regards to Errol. He'll definitely want to smoke with me if I start saying shit that I shouldn't be. But no, he's. I can answer that. No, he's not retired. Um, when he does, he'll definitely let everybody know. But for right now, no, he's not retired. But hopefully, we can see the Keith Thurman fight. I wish we could have saw it years back when it was like prime for them to fight.
Mhm.
But that's kind of what we're used to in boxing. Like fights we really wanted to see, we didn't get to see them hoes until much later on, or not at all. So we'll see.
No, absolutely, man. I'm here with Adrian Clark. Make sure you guys hit that like button, man, and subscribe to the channel and keep the chat going. But so I want to fast forward a little bit here to this boxing manager certificate program, man. When I saw that, I was like, wow. I mean, I don't think I've ever saw that before. So talk to me, AC. Tell me why you decided to do this and why you felt this was the right time to do it.
I mean, you said it when we first started this interview, man. Like I learned when I wanted to become an NBA agent that you can look up things on Google and you kind of have a checklist of things you need to do to be in that world and to get certified. But in boxing, man, I was coming out of college and looking up, what it is to be a boxing manager and what to do and how to get licensed and certified. Like I didn't have any of that. So I made a promise to myself, man, that if I could ever, make some money from the sport and become a name, the one thing that I would do is create something that if there were aspiring managers that were young, especially coming out of college looking for an internship or something of that nature, I would create something for those guys to be able to remember when I was talking earlier, I said I didn't hit the ground running, I hit the ground tumbling. I said that I was going to create something to help aspiring managers hit the ground running. And no, that's where the course comes from, man, to where I don't want to see young guys come in this business as a manager looking to help out the fighters, but they have no knowledge of the business. They have no one to hold their hand or no one to guide them on what to do and what not to do. I don't want them to go through the shit that I had to go through with learning on the fly. So the course is it's a crash course essentially on the do's and don'ts of boxing management and what you need to do from a recruiting standpoint or matchmaking standpoint or working with the promoter, understanding what like the fighters are signing or like your managerial percentage. I kind of walk guys through that, man, and 15 video with the quizzes. Like there's 15 different videos, but then you can't go on to the next round until you pass the quiz at the end of it to see, what you retain and what you understand. But it's necessary, man, because without it, you kind of go with, all right, well, shit, I might just learn this on the fly, and you end up fucking up somebody, excuse my language, messing up someone's career. And it's like all because you didn't take the time to take this course or get the knowledge and information that you need. So it's necessary, man. Education, regardless of what you think about it, education is needed, especially in the sport of boxing, from the fighter standpoint, and also like now from the manager standpoint. So that's why it was important for me to do it, and gonna make a major push and eventually offer internships to individuals through Fighters First to learn what it is to be a manager and kind of have simulations and have guys come to fights and see what it is to be on spot with the fighters and go from there. So hopefully people actually sign up and take advantage of the education that's there.
And
So
I
tell us.
ask you,
Go ahead, Trees. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to ask, we got our University of Toledo shirt on, go Rockets. I
Gotcha.
just wondering have you contacted or been contacted by any institutions to get
Yeah,
like your
that's yeah.
curriculum?
I hired Kelly Swanson, man. Kelly Swanson is probably the best. Her, Andrew, Sam, like her team is the best in regards to PR and setting things up. So, I eventually want to speak at as many colleges as possible and provide internships to the different colleges. It's funny, my man, John Amos used to hoop at the University of Toledo. He's out of Dallas.
Okay.
So big shout out to him. That's how I found out where Toledo was and what it was. But
Go Rockets.
definitely looking to offer opportunities because again I see me when I think about college kids. I know what it's like getting ready to graduate and it's like damn I want to be in the sports industry so bad, but like I ain't got no contacts. I shit, I don't know what to do, and you kind of just like whatever. So it's an opportunity to, but Kelly's been pushing, man. Her, Sam, and Andrew have been pushing to get me into certain schools and to speak at certain schools about boxing management and see who bites.
So tell my viewers where they can get access to it, how much it is, and break it down. I believe you mentioned today in the boxing voice that it's 15 rounds that covers 15 different aspects
Yeah,
of management that you want to cover.
the course is under an hour. It's not being a boxing manager is not rocket science, and the way it's set up now, man. Like anybody can become a boxing manager right now. You just gotta send $25 to a state commission, and like they'll license you, but what the state commission doesn't do. They don't do like a background check. They don't check your credentials. They don't have any understanding of what knowledge you have to negotiate contracts or to actually manage a professional fighter, which to me is absolutely sad. But I have the course available on teachable.com. If you go to teachable.com and you type in boxing manager certificate, the course will come up. And teachable.com is a site that has millions of courses on just about anything, but it's a very credible site to put educational platform on. And the course is $300. And I've had people in about the boxing scene did a story on it, and I saw the comments, and people was like, yeah, this is a scam for $300. And I'm like, bro, what other source is there out there to help educate aspiring managers? If there was another course out there, please point me to it and show me a cheaper price. But to me, $300 is nothing compared to what you have to pay to become an NBA agent or NFL agent, and what's required of that. I think it's in the thousands. So, $300 is a light investment for you to understand the boxing business through a crash course and look to easily make that money back through hell one fighter. Hell, that's one fight. That's a 4 round fight that you make your $300 back. So I think it's needed. I know that it's needed. It's just the point of people taking it seriously and going for what they know.
Nah, that's dope, man. Listen, Trees, bro, you got to enroll, bro. You got to enroll, bro. That's something that I see. I definitely foresee in Trees again. The whole matchmaking deal, the back end business of boxing. He does a lot of thinking, and he gets criticized for a lot of his matchmaking on the boxing voice. But it's creative.
Yeah, man.
And
They
in
I
order
do,
to
get
be
that.
in this business, bro, of boxing, which is all over the place, it's always good to have a little bit of creativity.
bro. A lot of creativity. Like we're just
There you
just,
go.
just think you think about it, man. Like I'm saying, Jay Prince, Frank Espinosa, like Al Heyman. I'm saying? All those guys are older, bro, and like they're still like the reigning managers in the sport. Like if I ask you to name me three managers under the age of 40 that you know of, and don't name me, like who would you name? Who do you know that's in it that's like next up? You can name me 10 fighters that's next up in regards to boxing, but name me the managers that's in this business that is like next to pushing in line. And shit, it ain't many. Like my man Paul Garino, like PG managed Cordell Booker, and like PG took the course, and PG showed love in his review of the course. But he's able to, and I'm not saying that he was able to get Cordell Booker the title shot based off of the course, but the course gave him information that he possibly didn't know to help him in regards to negotiations with Cordell Booker against Sebastian Fundora, man. So it's not like nobody has taken the course and benefited from it. Like PG's a guy like me, young guy in the industry that needed extra information, and he got it from the course. So, but you can't name me 3 managers that's under 40 who's next up. Aside from us, we need younger blood on the management side of things, man. So I hope you actually take the course and get in this, man, because we need younger managers, especially if you got a passion for this shit. Ain't nothing holding you back but you.
Shit, I may even take the course, bro. To be
Come on
honest,
with it.
That's
Come on with it.
shit,
the
man, I may
hangout
even
spot. The hangout spot
absolutely.
promotions.
Hangout spot promotions, man. I got a $5 super chat from Coach Marcus Walker. Thank you, fellas, for all the insight. King Can Boxing, again, the father and trainer of a hell of a sensational prospect, Kamari King Cam Walker. We've had him in the building as well, AC, and they family, bro. They
Word,
family, bro.
word, word.
Great people. Cam has a great future as well, man. But we in the building. We in the building, man. And talk to us. Tell my viewers a little bit about protect yourself at all times, man.
Man, I'm big on education, man. I'm big on education in the sport of boxing. So I wrote a book in 2016 called "Protect Yourself at All Times: A Guide for Professional Boxers." The book is available on Amazon, shit, Barnes and Noble. Somebody even found the book in half price books. I'm like, damn, they already got my shit half price. It was in half price books. uh,
I actually got a copy of it, man. That and your Dark Horse book.
oh,
We
word,
got both of
word,
those. Yeah,
word.
yeah.
I definitely appreciate that.
Love, bro.
But
That's
yeah, but
love.
protect yourself at all times is just, fighters, just as managers need to know what they're getting into, the fighters need to know. And I feel like the fighters need to know in the amateurs what they're getting into as far as the business side of boxing. So it breaks down like paying your taxes. Like boxers are not employees, bro. They're independent contractors. So they don't take the taxes out of your check when you fight. Like you have to set money aside to pay your own taxes. Also break down knowing what you're signing in regards to contracts, signing with a promoter, talk about entourage, talk about social media and the new copy of Protect Yourself at All Times. So I just break down the educational piece that fighters need to know before getting in the sport of boxing, and it helps for their families to know also because you want to. The reason why fighters are taken advantage of contractually and financially is because they're just not educated, bro. So dudes go to signing anything and they go to accepting anything and shit. Before you know it, 10 years go by, your fight career is over with, and you ain't got shit to show for it because you didn't get the education that you needed in the beginning. So protect yourself at all times is just as important as the boxing manager certificate, but it's for fighters. Fighters need to read "Protect Yourself at All Times," and aspiring boxing managers need to take the course to just know the business before they get into it.
So I just recently bought the book as well. I haven't started it yet, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I just gotta, with so much I got going on, man. I gotta find some time because I consider myself a fighter too in this field, man. I
Gotcha,
consider myself a prospect, moving up the ranks,
gotcha.
to, trying to get to contender status and championship status. So, I think the book is going to be a wealth of knowledge, man. And if you guys ever checked it out, make sure you check it out from my man Adrian Clark. But recently, I wanna touch on recently you just re-signed, some top clients here, man. And we've had three of them on the show. We've had Justin Paldo on the show. We've had Justin Time Figueroa, another hell of a prospect. And we have, obviously, the deal, WBO welterweight champion Brian Norman Jr., his family, and we've had him on a couple of times. Talk to me about that, man. How proud were you to be able to re-sign?
That was special, man. That was special, especially given that they could have chose to go elsewhere. Like I saw somebody in the chat that said Keith Conley and Rob Diaz, great managers, and they are. Like Rob Diaz comes from the promotional world. Rob Diaz is the reason why I made so much money with Golden Boy is because he would always have my fighters on. He's the guy negotiated with to make the world title shot for Jerry Belmontes and Omar Figueroa. So much love to Rob Diaz. Like I love him like a brother. Great manager in the sport. And I don't know Keith Conley, but they are both over 40. I know you named them because I asked that question, but they both over 40. I know Rob is gonna kick my ass for calling them old essentially, but they're great managers in the sport of boxing. Now I went on that tangent, but your question I forgot. I'm sorry. What did you ask? I'm sorry.
How excited were you to
Oh,
re-sign? Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Super,
extraordinary
super,
talent, man.
super excited, man. Because again, they could have went elsewhere. Contracts were expired. They could have easily chose to go elsewhere. But as I said in the press conference, all three of those guys, we started up Fridays First was a startup. I was brought in to build up the company from scratch. So it was a startup, and Brian Norman was an unknown name in boxing. I'm pretty sure 3 years ago, like y'all either wasn't talking about him or didn't know who he was. And in less than 3 years, he became a world champion. Justin Paul, though, he was sitting, like he wasn't even fighting. He had fought most of his fights under the PBC model. So to get with him and then him sign with Pro Box, like big shout out to Jonas and Daniel Rubin, man, like those guys and what they're doing at Pro Box, like I feel like it should be talked about more because they are really putting on and kind of carrying the load of what's going on here and promoting in the US. And they've moved the hell out of Justin Paul though. Even when he had that controversial loss, shit, they could have just wrote him off, but they still brought him back, and now he's in position to where he's going to get probably a world title shot by the end of this year. And what can't say enough about Justin Figueroa to where when we got him, he was still an amateur. He was just turning pro. And in 3 years to have 12, almost 13 fights, like everybody's life is different than what it was, 3 years ago. So for them to see the future with Fighters First and see the value in Jolene Mazzone and myself, it really means a lot. And we're building something special here. So I'm just excited to have those guys back with us.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And I think Justin has a fight coming up in June, right? On Pro Box again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
June the 7th, he's going to fight against Juan Carlos Burgos, I think that's his name.
Is that going to be in
Uh,
Texas, right?
yeah, in San Antonio. Yep.
Yeah. See, I love Pro Box. They're my family, man.
Oh
You
man,
know,
they
but
hell of
I'm
a job.
sad that they don't do cards here in Florida like that anymore, man. I just hit the Pro Box card here in Kissimmee, but they don't do anything in Plant City anymore because they're getting bigger and badder
Yeah, bro,
in
and
the game.
they're able to move it around now, man. I'm
Yep.
proud of that, and I'm
Yep.
welcoming them to Texas, man. But they're doing an amazing job, and they've done a hell of a job with Justin Pardo. So I'm really looking forward to the fight in June, man, and it's gonna be dope. But I'm happy to have the family, still together.
For sure.
Were
What
you able
about
to catch their last Pro Box card? Was you able to catch that Erickson Lupin fight?
I did not. I did not catch the last fight. I caught the highlights, but I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it live.
Okay.
check it out. It was good, man. A lot of good fights on it. I was there live in at Kissimmee. I'm trying to catch Pro Box anytime they come to Florida. But now that they're taking their show on the road, I'm so proud of them. Again, they are family. They always show me love. Shout out to Danny Rubin and Gary Jonas and the Pro Box family.
Yeah.
They're doing it up over there. When can we expect to see Justin Time back in the ring?
He's gonna fight actually in August, man, in San Antonio, Texas. My former business partner, Desi Martinez, he has Desi Martinez Promotions in Texas, and Desi is known as one of the most powerful attorneys in the state of Texas, representing San Antonio. But he loves boxing, and he got his promoter's license. And last year we did the Fighters First Showcase in San Antonio. Giovanni Cabrera was the main event, and Justin Figueroa was on the card, and also our female fighter Shariah Moreyu, who just had her baby girl. So big shout out to her and Austin Emma Williams for entering into parenthood. Looking for Shariah to come back. I hope that she finds her footing in being a mother, but then also gets back in the ring. But we had the Fighters First Showcase in San Antonio, and it was a great event, and we're looking to do that again in August. And I think Justin Figueroa is going to headline that card. He may fight against a guy from San Antonio, which is a little awkward, but getting him out of Atlantic City just for a little bit to kind of take him on a little bit of a tour. And then they always love you when you come back home. You got to go away from home for a little bit. They see too much of you, they get tired of you. So, what's up?
That's a good point. See, this is why you're right there. Again, we gotta market him, man, because like I told him when he was on the show, man, he can fight, he got good looks. Like, that's the type of fighter that you want to be able to market in this day and age in boxing, right? You got to be
Yeah,
able to speak well. He speaks well, he can fight, he got good looks, man. He can be
yeah.
like the future Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
he definitely, and I mean, he's definitely gonna bring, I'm not say bring boxing back to Atlantic City, but he's gonna light that fire again to where Atlantic City is gonna be a destination to go to watch even a guy like Jerron Ennis. I hope one day he fights on the undercard of a Jerron Ennis fight in Atlantic City to where he can, build off of what Boots does. Because I think even though, him and Brian on the collision course, I'm no hater in this sport, man. Dude is an exceptional talent, So with knowing what Justin is doing in Philly and Atlantic City being so close, Hopefully that link up is there. But Justin is definitely an exceptional talent, man, and I'm looking forward to the resurgence of Atlantic City boxing, but then also his career as a whole is going to be really dope.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to as his career progresses. And what about Brian Norman Jr., man? How proud
Oh
are you of him?
yeah, that's especially knowing how.
Is that your first world champion?
Yeah, man, first world champ because we've been to I've been to two world title fights as a manager. Jerry Belmontes versus Omar Figueroa, that controversial split decision. And then we didn't get back. We had a fight that we set up to get him back for the rematch, and we lost that fight in Corpus. And then Willie Monroe Jr. versus Billy Joe Saunders was a fight that I negotiated. That we went over to England, and thought Willie was going to win that fight. We dropped that fight, and just for the longest time, we never got back. So when Carl Moretti told me about this kid from Atlanta that he heard rumors of good sparring with Crawford and Javante Davis. It was like, all right, we're starting a company that's based out of Atlanta. So, just give me the name. And I still remember going to, Brian Norman Sr.'s auto body shop. And, you walk in like recruiting wise. I like to think I'm a solid recruiter, but you walking in, bruh, like I didn't know Brian Norman Sr. I didn't know Brian Norman Jr. So I'm like, all right, trying to be cool. I'm from the South. I'm from Texas, but like Georgia, they're different dudes. You know what I'm saying? They're not like Texas dudes. So
Nah, word.
yeah, trying to get.
Even down to the barbecue. Even down to the
Oh, bro,
barbecue.
it's different. It's different, but
Yeah.
it was. I'm glad that they developed a trust and a love for me to because I'm a dad now, man. I talked about this earlier. You know, I didn't understand when I was in my 20s. Like my son is 6 now, and my son he seems to be pretty good at sports. He has a unique baseball swing, loves football, but if my son becomes the number one prospect in the nation, like you got to come through daddy. You got to talk to me. There ain't no going to talk to my son about what his future is at 15, 16, 17. He don't really know. He just love playing the sport. You got to talk to me. And I didn't get that when I was in my 20s. So I would bypass the parents and go talk directly to the fighters. But now as a dad, I understand like, nah, you got to talk to the parents first before you go to the kids. So knowing that, I went directly to senior to build a relationship to get closer to junior, and it just all made sense. And like that's family now, man. Whether he's with us or eventually one day he's on his own or with somebody else, he's always going to be family because we essentially made history together, and that's something that could never be taken away from us, man. So it was crazy to watch him win that title and just see where we at right now, and then be able to look back. It's really dope to see it.
I had to give that a shout out, bro. That's what's up,
Right.
man. That's what's up. We got a $5 super chat from again Coach Marcus Walker, man. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate the donation. I guess this is for you. You guys are not next. You are here. Damn greatness in capital letters. Please get my number from Mr. Johnny. So I'll pass along Mr. Marcus Walker's number to you, AC, so you guys can get in contact, man. Like I said, he family, man. We
Dope.
all family here at the Hangout spot, man. We all
Right.
family, whether you are a guest, whether you are a viewer, whether you're
So,
now a co-host
hey,
today.
somebody said Trice is the next Don King, man. What's up, bro?
Drink
Like
is
Yeah,
right,
man.
man.
these
You
people,
monitor the
these
chat more than
people
Midwest.
know
me.
what's up.
Hey, man. You know it's the Midwest Mafia, man. I'm in Toledo. Al Hammond and Don, they was in Cleveland, man. I'm right around the way, man.
Okay,
Hey.
so you
Yeah.
the you the you the you the missing piece, then, man. What's up?
Yeah, man.
Yes, we got my man,
Um,
Fight Hook News. Jay Calderon, much respect to you, Mr. Clark. I have a much deeper understanding of the business. Great job, Johnny, always getting the deep insight. Nah, man, my guest, bro. I got the bomb guest. That's what it is, man. Spitting that knowledge, man. I only got a couple for you, and if Treef's got a couple, whatever, then we'll get you out of here. I know you've been here for a long time. I appreciate your time, but I just wanted you to touch
man.
on that relationship with Jolene, man, because she's also very, very special. And the reason why I say that is because everybody that I've come in contact that knows her, I've worked with her, your guys, they speak nothing but good things about her, man. Talk to me about that partnership and that relationship.
So, when I first started, Jolene was the first promoter that I worked with. So when I was managing Jerry Belmontes, we signed with Main Events after I got him out of his contract with the local promoter down in Texas. we signed with Main Events, and Jolene. One thing about her, man, that I thought was like really cool when we would go to shows, and I'm just a fly on the wall, bro. I'm a nobody, but everybody knew who Jolene was based off of her years in the business, and then her being Kathy Duva's right hand woman. Um, Jolene would always introduce me to people. Like she introduced, and the people she introduced me to, I end up building my own relationships with those people. Like we snuck into the HBO party one time, and it was all the execs, and Peter Nelson was the president of HBO at the time, and she took me up to Peter Nelson, and she was like, "Hey, this is Adrian Clark. He's a young manager in the business. He should be on your radar." And then she started having another conversation with him, and then like that was that. And then Peter Nelson actually was before HBO folded up. We had and I hope Errol doesn't mind me telling this story, but like HBO, their last stand was trying to sign Errol Spence Jr., but that came into fruition because of my relationship with Peter Nelson. You take away that introduction from Jolene, there ain't no meeting in Dallas that no one knows about with the president of HBO, Errol Spence, and myself and Errol's dad. But Jolene always introduced me to people. Even the world title fight that Willie Monroe got, like Jolene introduced me to Paco because Jolene was faded. We was in Vegas, and people have a good time after fights. But even with her being a little faded, she saw Paco and she was like, "Oh, Paco, like this is Adrian Clark. He manages Willie Monroe. He's in line for a title shot. Like he's my guy. Take care of him." And I'm like, "Yo, this is like crazy." So she became like this big sister of mine, and when I was approached to build Fighters First, and you got to build a team. It's like, who do you want to be? Oh my bro, it's a no-brainer. The first person that we're hiring, shit, the only person we hiring is Jolene Mazzone. If I could convince her to come over to the management side from the promotional side, she's the only person that really looked out for me after I was done tumbling. She looked out for me, and she always introduced me to everybody, Everlast, you name it, bro. She put me on. So for me, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna make sure that I take care of her now. Like, come to the management side, get you a nice little salary, man, and you manage the fighters that we recruit. So Jolene is a force. She's a Hall of Fame matchmaker, and honestly, when it's all said and done, she's gonna be a Hall of Fame boxing manager, bro, based off of what she's done so far. So like Jolene is like she's my big sister, but she's also like my work wife now because it's like I gotta we gotta be on the same page. And sometimes we play good cop, bad cop, but in other times it's like she calls me, she has to vent about some shit or something doesn't go right, got to vent about it, and then certain things happen, and I gotta. It's weird, like having to like I haven't. I think I scolded her like one time or two times maybe, but it's a unique dynamic. But bro, we get it in, and honestly, we 3 years in, and in 3 years we've done all this. So 5 years, shit, 10 years, we're gonna be a force in regards to management, man. But Jolene is amazing, bro.
Shout out to y'all, man. I got to get her on here as well, man.
Oh yeah, no, she's definitely, bruh, like she's and we don't pull this card much, but she's a female in a male dominated sport. Like you can't name another
Facts.
manager that's out here like killing like she is, bro. Respect to anybody, any woman, any female that's in it, that's killing it. Shout out to Kathy Duval, but Jolene, from a management standpoint, man, ain't nobody fucking with Jolene, like straight up.
I love that shit, man. I love it. I love it, man. Trees, you got anything else for AC? Man, I got one more question, but I want to save this
Oh, do
one
you
for
think? Do you
last.
think?
I just want to ask my last question, man. You a superstar, man. And I'm pretty sure your life is like a movie, real cinematic stuff. I just want to know, if somebody was to create a movie of your life tomorrow, man, who would play you in your movie? That's all.
Yeah, probably either Anthony Anderson or Mark Henry. Like,
I like the
I like
Anthony
it. I
Anderson one,
like it.
though.
Anthony Anderson. I like it. It'll be
yeah,
humor.
well,
I like it. Some
Yo,
yeah.
Trees,
comedy.
you
Yeah.
notice I didn't even think about that, though.
You've been thinking
You
about
didn't
this,
ask
man.
that question before?
Nah, like it just.
Damn.
No, I see both of them, and I'm like, I look at Anthony Anderson sometimes. I'm like, bruh, we favor. He could definitely play me in the movie. And then the one dude from Hot Tub Time Machine, I can't think of his name.
Oh, Craig Robinson.
Bro, low
Yeah,
key, it's like, yo,
yeah,
me and him
yeah.
could pass for like brothers or cousins. So like, and then Mark Henry, like some dude asked me one day, he was like, bro, if you had muscles, then you would be Mark Henry. And I'm like, bro, I know we kind of favor or whatever. So it'd be one of those guys, fam. And it'd be a crazy story, man. That's one thing I do think about, especially after watching Straight Outta Compton. Straight Outta Compton. I'm like, bro, one day that possibly could be a movie about my journey. Because like if you read Dark Horse, bro, like
Yeah.
I've done
I,
some crazy shit.
that's what. Yeah. That's what made me say it. I was. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, crazy shit.
Nah, that's what's up, man. See, this is just great. Like, I don't consider my interviews, man. They're more conversations, man. Laid back. Like, you guys are just hanging here with me,
Yeah,
talking here with me. That's why I created the hangout spot, right?
yeah, yeah.
So, but I just got a couple. What do you do as a hobby when you're not, you're decompressing and you don't want to deal with boxing or the business of boxing? You don't want to take any boxing phone calls. What do you do as a hobby? What are your hobbies?
All right, I think I'm gonna show y'all. So I I collect I collect trading cards, bro.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a big trading card buff, man. So
Wow. Okay.
like a bunch of unopened joints, like Kobe rookie cards, and
Ah.
then you flip it over here. It's like that's Michael Jordan on the walls,
Okay.
LeBron on the walls, Kobe on the walls, and then so yeah, I'm really big into trading cards, man. Anything to do with collecting trading cards. I'm really boring. I'm a nerd, really, man. So if I'm not writing something or reading up on something, man, I'm collecting trading cards, bro.
Is it a specific card? Is it a specific card that you looking to get, like that you looking to unbox or
Bro,
unwrap that you haven't got
listen
yet?
to me, listen to me. I go there's this trading card company. Um, it's um it's in Richardson, like in like north of Dallas, bro. And they got the graded Michael Jordan rookie card, and it's like 7 racks, bro. I go stand there, and I'm like, all right, I don't do impulse purchases, but I want this car. I don't need it, but I want it. I'll just stand there for like 10 minutes, like going back and forth, and then I'll just leave. Like, nah, I'm not going. I'm not going to do it. I can do that elsewhere. But bro, there's gonna be one of these days to where I wake up and I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm going to get this fucking car, and I'm gonna just go. I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody. I'm gonna just point at it, like, bro,
That's
run it. I'm
amazing.
gonna get that and
I'm
drop
like,
that, and then I'm gonna put it in my safe, and that's gonna be it. But yeah, that's the really the only card that I'm missing. I got a lot of Kobe rookie, I got a lot of LeBron, a lot of Mike Jordan, got a lot of Dion. I was a huge Dion fan
okay.
as a kid. I even got the game Prime Time that's unwrapped up there. They had on Sega. So man, I love collecting cars, bro. And when I'm not collecting cars, man, I'm hanging out with my son. My life is it's not like Dark Horse. Like my life used to be exciting when my son wasn't here, but now, bro, I want to kick it with my son and collect cards, man. And yeah, that's really it.
That's
That's what's
dope.
up.
I guarantee, Trees, I guarantee within a year he buys that card.
I believe it.
And he
No,
tells us
man,
about it.
don't hype me up,
I
man. Don't
got
do
the card,
It's
man.
gonna be
I
the
got
it's
the
gonna be
fucking
the
card.
gift
I told
to
you about.
itself.
Uh,
It's gonna be
hey,
the gift
listen,
to
you've earned
itself.
it, man. You deserve it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I
It's
think
crazy.
honestly, yeah, you're right because the way I see it is, uh, yeah, Brian, we locked down that Boots fight, and then he go to Philly and then take out Boots, bro.
That's
Mm.
it.
I probably fly back home. Then I probably wouldn't even go to the press. I probably fly back home
To go get
that
that.
night, and it's like, yo, I'm there in the morning. As soon as y'all open, bro, I need that.
That's what's
I
up.
love it, man. I
I
love
hope
it.
you get it. I hope you get it, man. Hope you get
yeah,
it.
Absolutely, man. You
yeah,
deserve it, man. Do what you need to do. Hey, YOLO, bro. You only live once, man.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
vocal. It's funny you mentioned Dion because I was vocal on the boxing voice about that whole Shador Sanders thing, man. It just
Well,
stressed me out, man.
what was your? Did you? I think he felt. I mean, he in a great spot. He's in a great spot. I think he's going to start for the
No,
Cleveland Browns.
Oh,
no,
You know,
I'm not worried. I'm
no.
worried about how they did him, bro. There's no way that talent wise he should have dropped all the way to
I'm
that
in
level.
Ohio, man. That's where you go. That's where quarterbacks go to die. Is Cleveland, bro. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Is that's literally where
Exactly.
quarterbacks go to. It's Cleveland, bro.
Like there's no
They
way
run through
that all these
quarterbacks like they've had more quarterbacks than Nah, man.
Well,
Nah.
maybe the same amount as the Jets. I'm a Jet fan, so we got the same problem. But man, I thought the NFL. I mean, something wasn't right there, man.
I'll be okay. I gotta play kind of devil's advocate a little
Okay,
bit. I'm gonna get
lay it on me,
fried, but
bro.
just so if I'm the GM of the Browns, if I take them early, even if I'm, you know what I'm saying, the Giants GM, any of that, if I take them early, like it ain't just about his play on the field. The Sanders family put asses in seats. So between his jersey sales, between ticket sales, season ticket sales are going to bump up. The demand for Shador Sanders is going to be extremely high. That means when his rookie contract comes to an end, if we take him early, we're going to have to pay him crazy amount of money. Um, to keep him here, even if he didn't win Rookie of the Year and all that. He's very, very valuable. So I see, even though I know people are going to be like, "Oh, well, his play," I see why he slipped so far because once it's time to pay up, you're going to have to pay this guy a lot of money to keep him in your uniform because his name and what he brings is extremely valuable.
That is the perfect answer from a business manager's perspective. I should have expected that, and I respect that. No, I was just looking at it like this, man. How does everybody have this guy? And it's not me. Draft experts, not me, have this guy projected to go in the top 5 or top 10, and he drops to the 6th round. Something wasn't right, man. And I feel like he's being used as an example that, you know what, these stars have a lot of power, these young kids have a lot of power coming out, and they can kind of call where they go. And you know what, we're not having that.
So what you thought, you really thought, and Trice, I gotta ask you, you thought that he was a top 5 pick coming out of Colorado?
No. That's
No,
the thing.
no,
It's like
no. I'm just
because it's
going by
like
the experts.
it's like with guys like with Jameis Winston and stuff like that when he had his issues coming out of college. But it's like he's
But he
different
didn't have
level of
any
player.
issues. He didn't have any issues. It was just all the bravado around him. I
Yeah.
don't think he was a top 5 pick, but I also don't think he was a 6th round draft pick or wherever it is that he went.
My whole thing is I watched you draft a guy like the Cleveland drafted a guy in the 3rd round, and I know that Shador is better than that guy. Like you
Right,
should
another
why didn't you
quarterback.
draft why didn't you draft him
That's what I'm looking at, and I'm a
before?
big
Yeah.
football guy. AC, I'm actually gonna be doing a football live show too
Okay,
as well. We
okay,
it's, I'm strictly boxing, but I'm gonna branch out a little bit. When football starts, I'm gonna do probably a Sunday night live call-in show. The
gotcha.
community has been asking for a treat, so we're gonna make it happen. But,
Okay.
yeah, man, something just wasn't right. It didn't sit well with me, but I'm cheering for him, man.
Same.
I I'm
I think he's gonna do great. I mean, I think he'll probably. I hope he breaks the curse of because I didn't think about that. But I'm looking at Baker Mayfield. Shit, even Deshaun, how he's playing now.
Yeah,
For
man.
Tim Couch, like
Yeah, man.
yeah, it's like I can't think of one quarterback that like was like killing.
I
But no,
got into a I got into an argument last year, man, about guys. I was telling people that Baker Mayfield is a top 15 quarterback. They didn't believe me because of what happened, because him in Cleveland, and I'm telling them like the guy that he had as his rookie year, he had Freddie Kitchens as his coach. We don't even know where that guy is right now. Cleveland is just they're bad organization. Like I know like Baker could play. Like we could see that he could play. They
yeah,
won a playoff game with Baker Mayfield. Cleveland ain't
straight
never
up,
won a playoff game. I
yeah,
know he could play,
yeah.
but Cleveland don't want to. They don't want to do right. They do bad things, man. They don't do right,
I
man.
think I think Shador could. I hope he's the one to kind of break that curse, man, and bring winning football back to Cleveland, man. I can see it.
I
I
agree.
hope so.
I'm
I
rooting
hope
for him, man. I'm rooting for him. I got one more question for you.
No, do you think? Do you
so.
think?
One more question for you. I want you to describe the following people with one word. The first words that comes to your mind.
Mm, okay. You asked for this shit. I'm very honest,
Jolene.
bro.
No, it's people you know. Jolene Mazzone.
Exceptional.
Justin Paldo.
Killer.
Justin Figueroa.
Flashy.
Brian Norman Sr.
Strict.
Brian Norman Jr.
Different.
And last but not least, Adrian Clark.
That's always the toughest one, bro. I wouldn't expect. I was expecting somebody else. Psycho. That's the best thing I can describe. Psycho.
Psycho.
Something's really wrong with dude. Extremely. If you read
Absolutely.
it, bro, if you read Dark Horse, you know like something's really, and that's like the PG version. Like if I could really tell the truth, bro, yeah. I'm definitely not. I ain't got it all, bro. I ain't got it all.
My brother, man. Yo, this was phenomenal, man. This was
Word.
absolutely phenomenal. It was worth the wait, man. I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody, man. When you come to the Hangout spot, you are family.
Word.
And you are welcome back anytime. Any of your fighters, we're gonna continue to rock out. We family. I'm gonna continue to support, man. But I gotta get you back, man, as things progress, man. And in football season too, I want to get you back because you're a football guy.
Yeah, make sure y'all like try both of y'all, man. Like DM me on IG on Instagram and send me y'all number, bro, and I'll text y'all so we can stay in contact. And if y'all are coming out to different shows, like if y'all coming to Texas for either of the fights, or if we have a fight in Vegas, or if y'all going to fucking Japan to watch Brian Norman, let me know.
Brian Norman asked
We would
me.
love
He was like,
to.
he asked me. He was like, because I said, I think I DM'd him and I was like, man, I wish I was going with y'all. And he was like, why aren't you? And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. That trip is kind of pricey.
Yeah, if you go over, bro, like I said, we'll make sure that you're good, man. But I love good people, man. You know what I'm saying? It's in this business, it's rare that you meet, I'm saying, down to earth people that, I'm saying, are really genuine, man. So when you meet those people, it's important to kind of create that community or bring them into the community where, you look out for each other, man. So it's really nothing to give tickets or look to get them credentials so they can cover the fight. It's needed, man. The more the merrier. So however I can help y'all with anything, man, let me know. And
for sure. That's on my bucket
Appreciate
list.
that.
I've been doing credentials. Obviously, I work all the Florida fights.
Gotcha.
Caribbean, Pro Box. I've worked all these fight cards, but my goal is to get out to other states. Again, I gotta build this brand. So, yeah, for sure. My thing is getting credentials, covering the fights, being there with you guys, supporting. So yeah, we'll be in touch. I definitely on my bucket list is I got to do a Brian Norman Jr. fight. I have to. That's my guy. So
For sure.
Word. Well, yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. It definitely was good being here. And yeah, I'll be in contact with you guys. But yeah, send me y'all number on IG, bro, and I'll shoot y'all a text.
Yep, I got you, my brother. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Y'all take care.
All right, you too, man. Thanks for the time.
No doubt.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, man. My man, Adrian Clark, man, CEO of Fighters First Management, bro.
That was fire. That was fire.
A phenomenal interview, bro. A phenomenal interview, man. Thank you for jumping on, man.
Thank
I'm
you for
not used to
having me,
having
man.
a co-host for an interview.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
You my guy. You my guy. And I know how much the whole business of boxing and the back end and the management piece and the matchmaking means to you. So, I thought it was a good idea to get you on here and get you some shine or whatever. But yeah, man, the chat was cooking, man. The chat was cooking. It was a great interview. I even hate to call my interviews, man. I just like to call them just chill back conversations, bro. We got my man, Coach Marcus Walker, said, Johnny, you bring insight into this podcast shit, deeper, different vibe, very meaningful. Keep it going. All I can say is thank you, Coach. I appreciate the kind words. I'm not doing anything other than being myself, man. I love this shit, man. I love giving y'all this content. I love interviewing. I love doing this podcast. The live shows with the callers have been dope. I wish I would have started it sooner. As you guys know, Nestor Gibbs is my mentor, so I'm kind of following his lead. But listen, again, it's all about the guests, man. It's all about the guests, man. You bring good guests in here, people will come, man, and as we go along, we grow. But yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't sift through all the chats. It looks like AC was reading through the chats more than I was. But when I'm interviewing, I'm really, really in sync with the person I'm interviewing. I used to be able to read through the questions, but when you got more people that are commenting and they're talking to each other, it's hard for me to sift through. So, but it looks like we got Fight Sport Talk. Fight Sport Talk. What up, guys? What's going on, brother? What is going on? My man calling in, man. He always calls in. Great calls. Manuel LG gave you a shout out, Trees.
Appreciate that.
Obviously the community is out here. Z Pacino is out here, in the building. Alberto, is Brian Norman training in Jaime Munguia gym? He is up in Big Bear. I'm not sure which gym though, but I got invited there. I just can't go to California, but I'm gonna try to catch up with Brian Norman Jr. when they hit back to the gym in Atlanta because they my peoples, man. We got my man Mikhail. Great interview, Johnny. Great work. Treese repping the O. Absolutely, bro. Treese did his thing. But yo, Treese was co-hosting on the Boxing Voice the other day, bro. Let me find out.
I'm just trying to be like Johnny when I grow up, man.
Not
He
me,
got it, man.
bro. Not me, bro. I was thinking about jumping on today earlier on before this, but I do a lot of pre-prep in the back with the questions. I got my shit prepared. I'm structured. So I was like, I jump on with them. Then I'm talking with them until like 8:45. I'm like, I gotta get off because I gotta, do this at 9:00. So, I'm trying to build something over here too. But TBV is family, bro.
Makes
Ness
sense.
is my guy. All of you dudes are my brothers, man. Thank you for welcoming me to the community, man. But yeah, we had Coach Amelia Q in the building. Shout out to you, Coach. I appreciate you. Who else we got here? We had Chad up in here as well from Canada.
From Canada.
Yep. Yesterday we had people from all over the place. You were listening, bro. We actually raffled off a T-shirt, and I got to ship a T-shirt to Canada, which is no problem at all. We'll make it happen. We were joking in the chat, but we're gonna make it happen, bro. Because this is how we do it up here in the hangout spot, man. But Treese, this was dope. Talk to me though. One thing I did wanted to ask you, man. What do you feel about this? I think did I hear your comments today? Because I was on and off. What do you feel about this Barrios Pacquiao thing, man?
Oh man, I'm one of the few, man. This is what I wanted. I wanted this, man. I'm happy Pacquiao was getting this fight. Well,
Did you
at
call
first
this shit though? Like, did you
I
call? I don't
called
remember if you called this shit in like a year ago or 6 months
I
ago.
called this a year ago, man. I
You
said
did.
this a year ago, man. The moment I seen that Pacquiao was gearing up training for the Olympics because he wanted the Olympics to make a special exception for him. Because professional fighters, they go back and fight in the Olympics and whatnot, but his was an age restriction. So he wanted him to let him bypass the age. He was working out. He wanted to get in the Olympics, win a gold medal for the Philippines. I'm like, oh well, shit. He working out. It ain't like you make money in the Olympics. I'm
Right.
sure that maybe he get sponsorships or something like that, but it's the Olympics. It ain't like professional. I'm like, oh, he gonna get a fucking fight. I wanted it to be Devin Haney. This was the fight I was calling for last year for Devin Haney. Imagine, Johnny. Devin had fought Manny Pacquiao instead of Ryan Garcia. Do you think that Devin Haney's career would have been on the upward trajectory instead of what he's going through right now?
No, it would have
With
been
this,
different. It would have been different.
yeah,
But man, listen, I gotta be honest, bro. I didn't see that shit coming, bro. I had Devin just outboxing Ryan that first fight, especially the crash out version of Ryan. Trees, I was telling people that I didn't even think he was gonna make it to the fight.
that was a fight that we didn't ask for, man. I said I didn't even want that fight. I thought Devin Haney should have been doing. I still want Devin Haney and To. I didn't
Oh yeah.
Ryan Garcia. I wanted Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben. I didn't think Ryan Garcia deserved the Devin Haney fight. Like, what did he do to fight Devin? He had just got knocked out by Tank, who's scared to fight Devin. Who like I didn't get it. You fought an Oscar Duarte who nobody really knows. Only reason we know Oscar Duarte now is because you beat him, Ryan.
Mhm.
You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Now
Yeah.
listen, welcome to the business of boxing in 2025 when it's all about star power and not about accomplishments, right? You got guys that are coming off losses that are getting title shots. This is not how it was, in the 80s and 90s, or at least not as consistent as it was, as it is today. I just got a text from Coach Brian Norman Sr., who said somebody asked about Munguia. He said, yes, Brian Jr. is training at Munguia Gym. Somebody just asked that question. So, yes, that's where Brian Norman Jr. is. He's training. Coach, I appreciate you, man. Coach is checking me out, man.
Shout
Listening,
out
man.
Brian
Y'all
Norman
family.
Sr., man.
Yeah, see, I call him Uncle B, bro. He Uncle B, bro.
He in the tux everywhere. We on to him, man.
Yeah, he
Shout
Uncle
out to
B,
him.
man. He supports the channel. He supports me. I've had him on a ton of times. I don't want to bother him though because they're in the middle of training. But hopefully, Uncle B, you enjoyed the interview. We got Coach Amelia said it's like you invited us into your home, your hangout spot. Absolutely, this is what it's all about. Different vibe here, man. Different vibe here at the hangout spot. But do you think Pacquiao has a chance to win that fight?
Of course. I'm picking
You
Pacquiao, man.
picking
Come on.
Pacquiao to beat a
I'm
younger
pick.
Mario Barrios,
Well,
bro?
see, Johnny. Let me ask you something.
Hmm.
Let me ask you this question real quick for the people. Did Mario Barrios win his last fight?
No, he didn't. And in my opinion, he should be fighting that fight again. It was a draw, right?
Yes, it was. And he got put down in that fight.
Pieced up. He got pieced up pretty good in that. But we talking about a 46-year-old Pacquiao, though.
But let me ask, if I told you that you thought that Abel Ramos beat him, you don't think that the legendary 8 division champion Manny Pacquiao could do it?
My last vision of Pacquiao is against that dude that Ryan didn't fight, bro. Didn't he fight that Japanese guy?
The Ampo. Yeah.
And he got pieced up in that fight all over the ring. Like, that's
but
my last vision, bro.
But my last vision, my last vision is Pacquiao putting Thurman on his pockets.
See, that's your last vision.
A guy who beat Barrios. That's how I'm thinking of. I got to think like this. He got to win over a guy who beat Barrios. So why can't Pacquiao do it?
Okay, listen, bro. I love it. Coach is in the building. Look, I'm everywhere. Coach, what's going on with training, bro? How's training going with my man Junior, man? And more importantly, I know you're recovering from a hemmed up shoulder, man. How's that going, man? You ain't hitting the heavy bag. You ain't holding the mitts, I'm assuming, right?
We heard his man Greg Hackett took another fight too, by the way, Johnny.
Yo, your boy Greg Hackett just won, bro. What is he, like 3-20 now or 3-30? I mean, I ain't throwing no shade.
Yeah, we heard he took another fight, man. I'm curious as to how Coach feel about that, man.
Coach did his thing, bro. If it wasn't for his hemmed up shoulder, man, we might have given that dude a rematch, bro. Everything going great. Good, man. Good. No more. There you go. No more mitts. You know, Coach is he's hemmed up right now, bro. He's hemmed. he all over the record. 4-24. Coach, you the man, Coach.
That's funny, man.
Coach is the fucking man, bro. You know, they family. Coach, I got to text you because I need to get some information because I'm trying to see if I can connect with y'all when y'all get back to ATL. So I need some logistics.
I can't wait for them to get a hometown fight, man. That's something I'm so, I love Atlanta. Don't give me no reason to come to Atlanta, goddamn. Man, that's what I need. Listen, I'm thirsty for them to get the hometown fight. Don't give me no reason to come out there.
Bro, and that is so easy for me to get to in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Because I live in Florida. But the Japan deal, like I said, man, I would love to go to Japan and support the chant, man. But that's an expensive... I'm not a fighter. That's an expensive trip. It's long. It's gonna be pricey, man. It's gonna be pricey.
That flight is serious.
I gotta hold a spit bucket for Norman Jr. for me. I gotta be in his corner for me to do something. Hold the bucket. We want one, but it looks like Boots is next year. Okay. All right. What do you mean by next year? What's going on? So maybe homecoming. Okay, homecoming in 2026, man. Yeah, for sure.
I like it, man.
Coach, if you it's up. If you want to jump on, it's up to you, Coach. If you ain't busy, but I know you're probably busy.
We'll let it talk to Coach, man.
Coach is maybe homecoming in 2070. Boots. There you go. Boots is next, bro. Boots is next. So my man Adrian Clark, he was a captain, bro. After we take care of business in Japan, because that's gonna happen. You already know we going to Japan. We sparking out Sasaki, bro. We making a name for ourselves internationally. And then we coming back to the table. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. And we want Boots, baby. Right, I said it. I said it, bro. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Let me send Coach the link, man. Let's get Coach up in here. Let's see what Coach got to give us an update. On Coach, I'm gonna send you the link. Stand by. Coach got to give us an update of what's going on in Big Bear, bro.
Yeah, man, that's serious, man. That's gonna be a big deal, though. That's quite a flight, man. Going all the way out to Japan, international.
I wish I could go, man. Again, if it was cheap, I probably would have done it. But that's gonna be a hell of an expensive trip for me, bro. I'm not
flying on Spirit. He's gonna be flying Spirit to Japan.
Spirit for like God knows how many freaking hours. How long is that flight, bro? I feel it's like 20 hours, bro.
Yeah, it's a little minute, man.
That shit is like 20 hours, man.
I was just talking to my.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, imagine though, back in the day, like when these guys used to go fight overseas, man, they used to go by boat. I'm talking
bro.
about plane. Guys
That
was on
shit's
ships.
crazy, bro. Like that shit is a long ass flight, man. Shout out to the chat, man. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe to the Hangout Spot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. More importantly, man, we got to get this channel out into other boxing fans, bro. We rocking out in the weeknights, great interviews, live shows, call-in shows, and you never know who's gonna pop in the panel. Just like right now, we got Uncle B, Brian Norman Sr. in the building. What's going on, Coach?
What's going on,
What's up?
Coach?
What's going on, bro? What's going
What you
on,
doing, man? You not holding mitts no more, man? What you doing over there? Just
I can't right
supervising?
now. No, I can't do nothing right now, man. I'm stuck. I took that cast off, but I can't hold no damn mitts. I can't do nothing.
So you just supervising from the sidelines? You coaching from the sidelines?
Right. That's all I can do.
And how's everything going up
It's
there,
working.
man?
Yeah, it's working out well. Everything working out well.
That's what's
Everything
up.
working out well. We good. Everything good to go.
So we ready to get this shit popping because everything, you know the deal. The talk is, and unfair, man. I hate to do that. I hate to be that guy because I hate other people that do that. But other people are talking about the next fight instead of this one.
We
know
hate
we
it.
gotta knock this one out.
We hate it too. But unfortunately, that's the world we live in, and the standards don't be the same for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the same person we fight was able to say in every single interview, because I watched every last one of them. Every single interview, he said, "I'm focused on Thursday or Saturday." He focused on his opponent. I don't even want to say no names. I'm focused on my opponent. That's all I'm worried about. I'm gonna get these belts and this and that. Then we gonna figure. They was asking him specifically about names. They asked him specifically about my son. He ain't have to say shit. But again, unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But we with it. We with it. That's why we gotta hurry up and make it happen now. Because I'm sick of this shit. To be real with you.
Yeah, no, I think how many shows have you been on in the last couple of days to talk about?
Maybe 3 or 4. Yeah, I'm sick of this shit, bro. I told Adrian. Adrian tell you. I told him today. I said right now we gotta make that happen no matter what.
And I don't know how you do when you go onto True Media. I was watching you. The callers, man, be arguing with you. Like, how do you have the energy for that shit?
I talked to Coach. Coach Malachi called me today. The guy who was arguing with the one who. Did you hear what he was saying? Did you hear what he was saying, bro?
I was listening to it, man.
That was so crazy. The nigga would say something. I would answer the question exactly like I need to, and he would say, see, caught you again. What?
Crazy.
So listen, this will make it worse. I don't know if he got dyslexia or he's blanking out or whatever. But the coach, we will talk about this numbers real quick because you know the number he kept. You know what he kept saying, right?
Uh-huh.
So he when I guess Adrian was on the boxing voice this morning.
Yeah.
So
he was on here. Did you see him here?
Yeah, I did. I saw him. So I didn't see the whole thing, but I listened to the whole thing this morning. So he called Coach Malachi. See, I told you Norman Senior be capping. I told you be capping. His manager on the boxing voice right now, and he just said the same thing. He said, "What did he say?" He said 1.7. So whatever. See, I asked him, did they offer him 1.5? And he said no. I said, bro, you can't make this shit up. And then Coach had to tell him. He was like, he did not say that. He was like, yes, he did. Yes, he did. So he kept telling, bro, go back and listen to the interview. He said, you were doing so much fucking yelling, you wasn't listening. You know what I'm saying? But look, I don't know why. I don't know how. This is, again, like I guess it ain't new to me no more now. But the whole thing is new to me because I've never been known as a liar. You know what I'm saying? If you taught me or know me, like I don't believe any man should have to lie about anything in life because if you do, you're ashamed of something. The only people I lie to, and I'm gonna say this on here, is a woman. That's it. Where was you at? I was such and such. That's the only time I'm alive. You feel what I'm saying? Other than that, I honestly don't feel like no man should have to lie about shit in his life. If you lying about something, then you're ashamed of something. That's how I feel. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't believe in lying to another man. Like, who the fuck are you me to lie to? So all of this on here, where people calling me a liar, or you heard what I said. You said I gave people the opportunity to even prove that yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
remember?
Yeah.
I told him to call in, tell me what I'm lying about. That's how it started. I said, okay, because they were all in the chat about I'm cap. Okay, do me a favor. I'm always contradicting myself. Do me a favor. I mean, a person who lies and intentionally lies, they wouldn't do that. They would stay away from them kind of questions because they don't want to be on the hot seat. You feel what I'm saying? So hey, do me a favor. Y'all call in and tell me what I ever lied about. And I said, I bet you I school you right now. And that's exactly what happened. I schooled him. Apparently his ears didn't work. Apparently his ears didn't work. But Coach Malachi say after he talked to him this morning, he said he understood, he believed it. And he told him to tell him to apologize to me and this and that, whatever else. And he was tripping. I don't know, bro. These people are just, I don't know. I don't even know how to hate start. This shit crazy.
This is why I say God bless you for having that energy.
Yeah. It's all good.
This is why I tell him and Junior are totally opposite in that aspect, bro. Because Junior ain't doing that shit.
Yeah. Nah. I'm built for it, man. I've been going through this shit all my life as far when not that part. I've been going through the doubters for all my life. You feel what I'm saying about what I can and can't do and this and that. So I love that part of it. I've been going through that part all my life. The other shit I have not been going through all my life. You know what I'm saying? That's new to me. Because that's one thing nobody ever accused me of is lying. They're like, they know if you know it. Again, Johnny, when we do shit, we got shit going on. Don't I own up to everything I say? And when I don't, I text you and say, hey, my bad, big dog, this happened. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
See, and if AC was still on, he is a story he didn't tell you that I said to him about this shit. You feel what I'm saying?
I would have brought you on. I would have
No,
brought you on.
it's cool. It's cool. It's my man. We cool. We talk all the time. We cool. So, but anyway, I'm just saying it was a story he didn't tell. I'm big on that. I'm big on do what you say what you mean, mean what you say, right? So, and particularly he'll tell you, I'll tell you the story. It ain't no fucking secret, but I mean, he'll tell the story. The first time that he ever reached out to me, he didn't show up. He did a no call, no show. You feel what I'm saying? Now, to me, no call, no shows are the most disrespectful because it's like all you gotta do is pick up the fucking phone or text me or send me. It's so many ways of communication now. You know what I'm saying? So again, that's why I'm telling you, like with anybody or anything, if I didn't say nothing or whatever happened, then I completely fucking forgot. And when I do remember, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say something. So I hate people who do no call. That's so disrespectful. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me you're gonna do something, and then don't even fucking just leave me hanging like ain't shit shaking. Like, damn, that's the utmost disrespect. You feel me?
And that was right in the beginning too, which is first impression.
Right. But we laughed about it. We laughed about it when he came in the second time. So he came in, he gonna call back. He called back and shit. When we said he came in my workplace, so he called back the next time, asked me to come out again, whatever, gave a day, gave a time, he came in. And I just slid that shit right on in there. Like, yeah, I like how you just slid past that shit because you sure didn't show up, motherfucker. You ain't called me or nothing.
What was it that like that got you working with Adrian Clark? Considering like I'm just, like he's a little bit younger in the game, in the boxing game. I'm sure you could have went with an established guy.
Absolutely. No, what it is I like his energy. He's a positive guy. You could tell you know if you've been living long enough, which I'm sure both of y'all have, but John, I know you have. You know when people full of shit. He didn't sound like he was full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though he did what he did that day, what it was, he didn't sound like he was full of shit. He sounded like he was straight up. The deal he was offered was a good deal. You know what I'm saying? It was a deal that it was for us. It was it was good. It was good for us. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, he seemed like a real one, man. I enjoyed that interview.
Definitely a real one. Definitely a real one.
Yeah, check it out later, man. It was dope, man. We talked about his upbringing and his try. He stumbled a lot in the beginning, and he was transparent about that. And that's what I respect. Like he was learning on the fly, and he admitted he made a lot of mistakes. But when he got off and running, things changed for him. So I'm happy to see the success that he's having. You guys all like family, so make sure you check that out.
Man, with anything you do in life, like it's boxing, football, whatever it is, you kind of gotta lose. You kind of gotta have failures. You have to, so you'll know how to deal with it, and you know how to come back from it, and you know what to do and what not to do. Because if you go through life winning the whole time and you never fucking lose, you're going to eventually fall. Because everything that goes up must come down. And when you fall, then I think it's gonna be a bigger fall. You gotta know how to fucking deal with it and everything else. You know what I'm saying? I tell people that all the time. Yeah, being undefeated or being this and being that is great. But as an amateur, we talking about amateurs, fighters and shit now, like, but you really need those losses because they lessons.
I agree. Yeah. So coach, tell the viewers, what was why the decision to do this camp in Big Bear? And what's the differences between a camp in Atlanta and Big Bear?
Johnny, give me 2 seconds. This phone finna dial. Let me send the link to the other phone. I'm gonna call you right back. I'm here right back.
Yeah, no doubt. That's Coach Brian Norman Sr., y'all. I just want to kind of ask him a little bit about why the decision was made to do that. Obviously, everybody talks about the altitude, but I wanted to kind of break that down to the viewers. And and you know what the training is looking like. Like, do they,
Who they
where are
bringing in
they
for
at and stuff like
sparring,
that.
all this
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah.
kind of get his take on that. If you haven't smashed that like button, y'all, I don't know what y'all waiting for. Smash
That's
that like
crazy, man.
button.
He get a lot of flack, man. Coach Brian Norman, man. He been doing this thing though for his son, considering the fact, man. It's like Adrian Clark said 3 years ago, nobody really knew who he was. World
Coach a real
champion
one,
now.
bro. Coach
Yeah.
is a real one. He back. Coach, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. What's up, man?
Yeah, so I wanted you to kind of give my viewers a perspective. Like, why did you choose to do this camp in Big Bear, and what's the differences between normal camp in Atlanta and Big Bear so far?
We actually had a little powwow about that today. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but it was for altitude training. It was for altitude training. Like we're literally, I like to know my facts. That's why I'll tell y'all in the chat. I like to know my facts before I talk. But we like 4,000 feet above sea level right now. Like 4 or 5,000. We in the air. You understand what I'm saying? So like we're in the air to the point where when you get like I'm talking now, I'm good right now. No, actually, I'm not. Or as I'm talking, y'all know anytime you see me, I'm pretty long winded, right? You feel those deep breaths, that shit get deep in your chest. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said no, I'm not, because when I said that, I had to take a fucking deep breath. You feel what I'm saying? Like anything you do up here, you in the air. So I mean, the altitude is different up here. You can't sleep at night. It wake you up in the middle of the night when you first get here. So no good night's sleep. It just, I mean, you can Google that. The shit just wake you up. Like it's a different level of training up here, and just more intense. You feel what I'm saying? But we coming down the mountain tomorrow, and we're coming down just to go spar in LA or down in down in the city of San Bernardino, somewhere down that way, and see how we see what we have been, so see what the work up here has been. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's hard working up here. You can't get regular work up here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard. It's hard.
That's at least a couple hours from LA, right?
Two. Yeah, two. Like bag work, sparring. I think the sparring the first day, like, my son can go forever. He's in shape. He can go forever. So we get in the ring, we get the first guy come up here. And thank God that he came from up the mountain too. So he had to deal with the same thing we dealing with. So when they get in there, uh fucking rounds going off. Shit, they doing 4-minute rounds. 4-minute rounds. They both fucking gassed it, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I understand. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's like I said, it's a deepness, bro. Have you ever been in the mountains, like, and do any kind of work in the movement, or get any kind of get upper? You'll feel it, like it just gets deep in your chest.
And did you decide to do that because of the long trip to Japan? Or were you going to do that regardless, this camp, regardless whether you fought in the
Gonna do it
States?
regardless of the camp, because he was thinking Colorado Springs first, and then he decided Big Bear. But the weather is beautiful up. It was snow. It snowed the first day we got here. It was raining the second day we got here, and then ever since then it's been gorgeous. Ever since, man, it's a whole different vibe up here. It's very peaceful. The people hit and miss just like everywhere else, but no black people up here. I think we've seen 3 black people. One
At
of
the
them
lake.
running. One lady, yeah, one lady was running down the street. Older lady, she was jogging. One guy was working in McDonald's. We ain't see no more. Everybody else is Spanish or white.
Cause
And
I'm sure that's something that you're gonna have to get used to though, considering you're gonna be going to
yeah,
Japan. I'm sure it won't be too many of our kind in Japan now, will it?
yeah,
Hostile
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah,
territory
hey,
it is,
hey,
bro.
hey, man, I'm cultured. I don't give a shit about that. I'm very
For
cultured.
sure.
I worked for a company for 14 years where I dealt with all types of people, and I dealt with all types of biases. I've dealt with everything, so that's cool. But so with these people up here, though, the good thing is they're not racist. They're not really racist, and I know how they act. They're not, but it's like they fuck with you, but they don't fuck with you. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got you.
It's that type. Like they mind their business. They mind their business. You know what I'm saying? It's P2, hey, how you doing? They just mind their business. But everything is cool. The vibe itself is wonderful. Very wonderful. Especially with the weather. It's like it's
With
amazing.
you with you guys going to Japan out of curiosity, like how soon like before the fight do you guys plan on going out to Japan to
Two
get like
weeks.
acclimated? Okay, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now the good thing about Japan, and I did research this too, because I said like know my numbers. They are only 150 feet above sea level. 130, 131 or some shit like that. I think they're 130 feet above sea level. Atlanta, Georgia is 1,050 feet above sea level. So we already got the up on that. And where we are, like I said, is like 4,000 or 5,000 feet. I can't remember the exact, but it's up in the thousands. We up in there. So again, we like to have the upper hand, and we want to get the best trainer we can get. We want to get the, what I'm saying, get the best out of. Like if you don't work anyway, you might be work here and get that out of it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing.
And where's the champion now? Is he relaxing? Is he sleeping?
Nah, he's down. Nah, he's downstairs. He's right downstairs watching a movie, watching Dolomite.
Reading? I thought he'd be reading or hanging out in the park late.
He might just get B. I thought I heard it, but yeah, nah, he downstairs.
Tell him I said what's up, brother Jason.
I tell him. Yeah, I let him know you said what's up, man. Yeah, you fuck with me. It's all good. Everything's good. Like I said, everything is beautiful. Everything lining up perfectly. Yesterday I was a bit fussed about this unnecessary news that came out because I didn't understand it. So I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine just minding your business and you ain't fucking with nobody and this and that. And like, what are y'all talking about? What's happening? And a barrage of this and that. And you got the haters who just looking for anything they can look for. You know what I'm saying? And they putting out, I said, you know what, bro? So that's why I did the interviews and I did what I did. I was like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy did interview after interview after interview, and they asked about my son, and this guy said, I'm not focused on nobody, but this guy, after I do this, then we're going to talk about it. After the fight, he didn't say it. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy when I'm like, bro, what the fuck is happening? So then I hear later that it may be, but Adrian is on his part. Adrian is on his job. He doing what he do. So we gonna see. We're going to see, but we're going to make sure I know it's clean in the whole mix. So he was like, it seems kind of odd of the timing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to plan a fight for October, November, December. You naming the day saying we could pretty much pick the day. It could be either one of them. But you're saying that, but you're in a rush to sign it now. Why? That was the confusing part. So it was the thought process was either you're worried about the much money we finna go make in Japan, so now you can't go run around talking about $100,000 no more, so you can't shit us on with that. You know what I'm saying? Or is it that that's one reason that it could be, or the other reason could be is that the Giasov mandatory was coming up and he needed a scapegoat to say we tried this and that, but he didn't want to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we trying to figure out what's what or whatever else, but we gonna definitely do our due diligence to make it work like we've been trying to do. And I mean, it is what it is. We gonna make them stand on what they say this time.
Yeah, it's crazy you say that because the first thing that comes to my mind, especially during the post fight, and we talked about this when I had you on after the when we recap the Boots thing, is that he seems annoyed like when people bring up Brian Norman Jr. just like Tank seems annoyed when people bring up Shakur. Which is weird to me because they're rival, like they're in the same division, the champion.
But Tank said openly he don't want to fight Shakur.
But that's what I'm trying to say. But right, he didn't say that.
I don't feel that Boots want to fight my son. He doesn't act like it to me. He don't act like
to tell you, like instead of saying, yeah, no, definitely I want that fight next to you. He's like, Brian Norman's not good.
Right. I'm not again.
What's going on? Why don't you want to fight? Then if he's not good, then fight him.
So to get it mixed up, I'm not saying he's afraid. I'm not saying nothing else. And I've been said this many times before. For whatever reason, I really don't believe he want to fight him.
Right. That's what I'm not.
I don't know why. I don't know the reason. Again, just like I'm saying about this timing of this, I don't know why. I don't know what's up. I don't even know if Boots behind it. Boots may not even be behind this. That's what people got to understand. Sometimes promoters do certain things, whatever, and then bring it to their, client to see this and see that. You never know what the fuck it is.
But he did say in that presser after the fight when somebody brought up Junior, I don't know, and then he was like, well, Brian Norman's not good. He's really not good. So you know what I'm saying? So I think that shit is.
That's the same thing Tank was saying. The same thing Tank was saying about Shakur. The same thing he was saying about Devin. Man, I beat all those guys. I run through all those guys. I mean, look, that's a revolving door. We ain't finna keep going back through that door.
Sure.
But it's all good. Like I said, we're gonna do our part. We're gonna do our due diligence or whatever else. We're gonna make sure our nose clean and this shit or whatever else. And we're gonna make sure we take it straight to the source, and we're gonna make sure the source don't come out with that fuck shit no more. That's what we're gonna do.
Can I ask how you feel about my guy. Shout out to Johnny. He know how I'm rocking with my guy Pacquiao. How do you feel about Pacquiao getting this Barrios fighting? And if he does,
I
say
love
he
it.
does get the dub, is
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm praying because I don't think Barrios want to play either. So I'm praying that Pacquiao get the win.
Okay. Is
I
that
mean, we
okay?
know. I mean, you got to think about this. It was just 3 years ago that he fought. 3-4 years ago. It wasn't more than 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, he's what, 42 years old.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He can. I mean, Barrios stylistically of the old Pacquiao, which he probably is not no more. Stylistically wise, the old Pacquiao would destroy Barrios, destroy him. Won't even be close.
I wasn't impressed in Barrios' last fight. It
That's what
wasn't a
I'm saying.
win. Yeah.
It wasn't a win. So that's what I'm saying. Stylistically wise, the old Pacquiao would destroy Barrios. The age factor, whatever it is, we don't know how much decline. That's what people got to understand. Like me, you see me get in the ring, whatever, and I fought with a torn bicep. I didn't have a hook. I had limited punches I could throw. You feel what I'm saying? So with that being said, I mean, I'm a lot better than I showed. You feel what I'm saying? That's at 45. Pacquiao trained and fought longer than I did, much longer than I did. So don't count him out now. Don't count him out.
Hey,
I definitely want to count him out.
I told Johnny that's my pick, man. We
Yeah,
rocking
I
with the
wouldn't
other
count him out.
guy.
I'm
Listen,
I'm the biggest Pacquiao. I was the biggest Pacquiao fan, man, but he ain't look good against this dude from Japan,
no,
bro.
he did not look good. But every fighter don't look good every night anyway. Maybe he did. Look, when some people don't look good, they give him the excuse of maybe he didn't train to get up for this fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got different things or whatever. Because that don't mean that's a standard of who he is today, that he's just not good no more, that he's just not Pac-Man no more. That's not, I don't believe that. Because I mean, if he trained and worked out that long, you got to remember, I did what I did after being cold turkey for 14 years. I really believe Pacquiao, you have a muscle memory. This was the biggest problem for me, training and trying to get back in shape before my fight. I had been trying to train over and over and over again. I was like 40, 50 pounds away from where I left off at. That's what the problem was. So in my mental, you mentally do what I used to do, like 20 minutes of jump rope straight, running, this and that. So when I started to run, my legs and my knees hurt because I'm heavier. When I started jump rope, same thing. I'm bouncing on these bitches. I can't do it the same because my fucking legs and my knees hurt. You get what I'm saying? So and you hitting the bag, you fucking breathing hard, you winding and shit. And then you have to ask yourself, what the fuck am I doing this for? But your muscle memory only knows one way. Still from when I trained 14 years ago, I only know how to train one way. I don't know how to train the other way. I don't know how to train like a bitch. I don't know how to train soft. I don't know how to go. I don't know how to start slow. You get what I'm saying? On my on my treadmill, what I used to do was I used to start at 7.2, the speed. I start at 7.2. By the time it's over with, I be fucking sprinting through the end. Okay, I'm older. Now I start at 6.2. You get what I'm saying? But to me, 6.2 felt like 7.2. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that intensity of it felt about the sound like, yeah, because I said, well, damn, I tried to push it in and said, let me see if I can do this shit. I tried to start at 7.2. That shit was out the question.
Wow.
She was out the question.
Not to mention he had one hell of a trainer, bro, that was on that ass. Junior was on that
Absolutely.
ass.
Junior got me down. Junior, he did this. He got me down. I was doing my minutes and I was pussyfooting around. He got me down till he told me I couldn't do 3 miles, and I couldn't do 3 miles in over 25 minutes. And that's what I did at the end. By the end of the workout, I was doing 25 miles. 3 miles in less than 25 minutes. That's fucking wonderful to be I'm 46 now, to be a damn near 46-year-old man that's been out of the ring for 14 fucking years. That's phenomenal. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not counting. I'm saying all this to say I'm not counting Pacquiao out. I think he still got it.
But you ain't putting your money on him, though.
I think I probably will.
Yes, sir. We gonna sprinkle. You gotta sprinkle a few something on him now.
A lot of people don't know
that people will put money on him. So I retract that. But deep down inside, you don't think he's gonna win. Is what I was gonna get at.
I'm dead serious about. I'm not just making this shit. I'm dead. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm saying what I'm saying, and I mean this shit. Like
Pacquiao look beatable.
Pacquiao only knows how to train one way. He only knows. This is my worry about Pacquiao. Steroids. Was he actually on steroids? Is he not on steroids now? Like, that's my only worry about steroids. Was it steroids that was making him exceptional? I don't know that to be true or not true. And I'm not trying to shit on his name at all. I'm just going for facts of what I know and what I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, that's the only deal breaker. So if Pac-Man is regularly and originally the old Pac-Man, I think Pac-Man can get into shape at 46 years old and only being out 4 years to beat Barrios. I really believe he can.
Well, we're gonna see, man. It's gonna happen, man. I mean,
absolutely. Hey, man, look, you talk about the money, man. I still got money. May 18th. I still got money that I'm playing with for house money from B. Norman winning that I couldn't get out this fucking. I swear to God. I still got money. I got money in Bet US. I got money at Bet Online. I got money in my bookie. I got money in all of those from when B. Norman won, because they give you so much. You know, I'm not in the DraftKings state.
Got the free bet, the free bets. They gave him the money back. Hell yeah, a free 150 for a new customer.
So I'm in those states, so I couldn't. So they charging me to get my fucking money out. I was like, fuck it, I might well leave the money in and just play with the shit. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. So you tell me I ain't gonna bet on Pacquiao. I'm definitely gonna bet on that fight. I'm definitely gonna bet on.
Probably a good idea. You know, based on the odds and stuff like that. A lot of people are gonna think that the younger guy's gonna walk all over him.
I bet on Rolly. You might have seen me post that shit. I bet $100 on Rolly and won 16. Yeah,
you did that. That's right.
Bet on Rolly. I mean, I don't bet on the favorite. I never bet on the favorite. That I ain't doing. I never bet on the favorite. I never bet on the negative. I wait for the ones that I know that has a good possibility of winning. For example, I didn't know the motherfucker well like this. I didn't know him well enough like this. But from what I was looking at and what was going on, Thomas Matisse, he was on the undercard. He was the co-main event with Raymond Ford of Jerron Ennis card. Yeah. I bet on his bum. I don't even want to call him a bum because I don't
do him that. That's an Ohio fighter. Don't do that. That's a Midwest.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe in shit on.
Yeah,
I don't believe in shit. I don't believe in shit on fighters. No, you scratch all that out. I'm not hating on him. The reason I was going to say what I say is because he made me lose my fucking money. That's what I was about to say. and I know for a fact he could have did better. I'm positive he could have did better. I don't know him like that. But I know enough about a fighter to have the record that he had, to look at his physicalness and his physical size, that he could have did better than what he did. You get what I'm saying?
Well, Brian, let me tell you this, Coach. Thomas Matisse, he shares Vic Green. Johnny knows my guy, Albertville. Vic, that's Vic, Ohio, Midwest Mafia. We get a close look at Thomas Matisse around here. I definitely felt as though he could have had a better performance. So I'm with you. I'm sorry that happened to you.
I wasn't trying to call him a bum because I don't believe on shit. I really don't believe on shit on fights. So excuse me for even about to bring it up now. He's not a bum. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know enough about him. I just that night I was cussing his ass out saying what I'm saying because motherfucker, you made me bet my money on you based on what you was saying, the shit you was talking, and I believed and I seen me looking at the physicalness of you, because like some of his points were on point. He was like, Raymond Ford used to bully him motherfuckers around, this and that at 130. He's at 135 now, right? Or 126?
No, they're at 130 right now. They're at 130.
So they're at 130. Okay, so at 126, he was like, Raymond Ford was used to bullying motherfuckers around. He was like, he a big guy. And I'm looking like, damn, you know what, bro? You're right. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're right. Never been knocked out. I looked at the basics of what I could look at. I'm like, you know what, bro? His attitude seemed like he coming to fight. And with his physical size and his record and me looking at things, I know how some people, because I know some people get, like when you get a upside down record, you get a couple of losses, you can fight on some cards where you actually questionably won and then rob your ass. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, some of those losses might be wins, and he is a big fella over Raymond Ford, but he did not act like it in that fucking fight, and that pissed me off. I'm like, damn, bro, you could just let me keep my fucking money, man.
Yo, my man Michael Cruz said Pacquiao has not looked good in his last 3 fights. Ugas washed him up 2 exhibitions after. Barrios is going to give him the Camacho versus Sugar Ray Leonard treatment.
I mean, we can say that, but shit, Barrios didn't look good though.
Cook his ass,
That's
bro.
Barrios ain't look good.
Barrios didn't
Man.
look good, so we ain't acting like he ain't there with no fucking killer. Barrios was in there with a little bit of ass. Was that Jesus Ramos?
You
Who's
know,
Barrios?
Abel Ramos.
Abel Ramos.
Yeah.
Abel Ramos. Like, and Abel Ramos, he got like 6 losses or some shit. Like, come on, bro.
my man from Fight Hook News is a Bob Santos guy. He interviewed him like 5 times. That's probably where that's coming from.
Who, Barrios?
Yeah.
He interviewed Barrios 5 times?
He a Bob Santos
Bob
guy.
Santos.
You know, Bob
Barrios
Santos
was
is
trainer.
Oh, he interviewed
Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
Santos. Okay, I got you.
He interviewed Bob Santos like 5.
Yeah,
I kid him around all
yeah.
the time. Every time I see him in one of these shows where we work in media, I'm like, damn, you interviewed this dude again? Like, damn, how many freaking questions you got for this dude?
Right.
And again, I got coach on the channel all the time, but that's different. We conversing, bro. We having a good time.
Absolutely.
I only interviewed you once. That was the first time. After that, it's just more conversation. You know what's going on.
Yeah, you done get on. We talk about some shit. We make it shake. You know what I'm saying? See what's up. See what the latest boxing news is. That's what we supposed to do. And again, back to I didn't understand the hate for me, but I don't give a fuck because I don't know the people anyway. I'm like, damn, people mad. Seriously, bro. I was like, damn, people mad at me about my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would give an opinion and you recap. He always capping. I can't cap about your opinion cannot be capped. The definite the literal definition of cap on the street is lying. You're lying about something. You flexing, you exaggerating, whatever the fuck. I cannot lie about my opinion. If my opinion is this is my opinion. I can't tell you capping about your opinion. Oh man, I'll whoop his ass. You lying. What? I'm saying how the fuck I feel.
I know how he feels, Treese. I was telling him the next day after the Boots fight, I'm getting all these damn DMs and all that stuff. Like, yo, what's up with your boy? Do you want that smoke now? I'm like, yo, I'm about to call myself Johnny Norman, bro. Like, yo, y'all coming at me because they know that they're my guys.
They didn't even have, but the crazy part, they didn't even have to come at you because I came on that night at the fight because I honestly. It was a great win. It was a great win, good performance, whatever else. You know how they used to give us mixed fractions. See, people think so small. They used to give us mixed fractions, but you had to do something before you finish those mixed fractions. Y'all remember what it was? We had to simplify. Y'all remember that shit? We had to simplify. We had to simplify, round it down to you know what I'm saying, Yeah. So my thing with that being said is I'm looking at him. You have to understand everything starts from the basis. It starts from the basics. Everything starts from the basics. I'm looking at the basics. The so-called what everybody else who don't really know boxing, never been in the ring and never, I'm not looking at anything amazing. I'm looking at something good. I'm looking at something you're doing good. I'm looking at everything else, but I'm looking at other things. I'm looking at where your feet are. I'm looking at how you stand. I'm looking at how you punch. I'm looking at where your feet are set when you. I'm looking at everything, and it's some called basics. You get what I'm saying? And when it comes down to the basics, honestly, it's very few special fighters. It's very few special fighters. Like let me see, Roy Jones, special fighter. You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Floyd Mayweather with his reflexes, special fighter. You feel me? But a lot of the other fighters just had like certain gifts, like whether it be power, whether it be speed with Sugar Ray, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it's very rare that they have both. Other than that, you have when you put certain things together, you have a standard good fighter. And that's what it is. That's what I see. I see a good fighter. That's what I see. I don't see an amazing fighter. I see a good fighter.
Yeah, you've broken that down for me plenty of times, and I.
So let me ask you then, Coach. So let me ask you because
he looks at fights differently.
I look at it differently, bro, because I'm a fighter.
It makes sense. I'm curious then, because like you know how fighters have styles and things like this. If you say so, like some people would say that some fighters are a jack of all trades, master of none, and things like. So let me ask you, when we think of a Boots. Like, would you say that he's a power puncher? Is he a counter puncher?
Definitely not.
Is he
Definitely not. He's a counter punch. He's a counter punch. True counter punch. That's more so his reflexes. His reflexes are his gift. His reflexes are his gift. I told you I look at I look at what they do exceptionally. He counter punches. He counter punches exceptionally. That means he has very good reflexes. He does not. Again, like I said, you have some power. Some people, some fighters that are blessed with this. He's not blessed with a lot of power. All of his stuff comes with accumulation of punches. You get what I'm saying? So most fighters are not blessed with a lot of power. You got very few of those. Deontay Wilder is one of them. Who else?
Tank Davis. You got to say
Tank Davis. Hell yeah. Tank Davis is one of them. I don't even think Terrence Crawford, and I think Terrence Crawford is the best fighter in the world. I don't think he's best with amazing power. It's precision, it's accuracy, it's a lot of things into that. You get what I'm saying?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot. Timing is when you punch. It's a lot of things that go into that. See, I'm arguing with a bunch of boxing fans that think they know boxing because they've been watching boxing for 20 years. But if I've been in the ring for fucking over 30 years, you feel as though I've been affiliated with shit over 30 years, and I trained this and I've seen all of these, then what the fuck do I know? You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm telling you what I see, and I see regular shit that's good, and I'm good with that because it's one thing that I always say. I told my son today. Well, he know this anyway. I just brought it up to him again today. I said, I know how to beat you. I told him. I said, no, I know how to beat you. He was like, you think so? I said, yeah. See, I'm glad you said that because I wanted to know. Cause you need to know that. You need to know how to beat him. So he was like, how do you beat me? And I told him what I thought. He's like, yeah, but say, tried. And the reason they don't do it, I said, I know. I said, it's going to take a very dedicated person and a very determined, a very smart, like you got to have nerves of steel to do it. And let me tell you why with him, because he hits hard. Power is the only thing. The power is the only thing that makes you act different. Nothing else does. If you know boxing, if you know reflexes, if you know reflexes, I'll tell you the game because there's nothing you can do about it. You got to counterpunch him. You feint him a lot. What the fuck he gonna do? He gonna be trying to counter. You get what I'm saying? Feint him a lot. Move. Feint him a lot. Keep your defense tight. That's it. Simple. Feint him a lot. Confusing. You know what I'm saying? You take a guy with timing. Same thing. Feint him a lot because he's looking for you to punch. He's looking for your movements for when your punches come off. You feint him. You get what I'm saying? The same thing with the feint. Speed. Timing. Timing beats speed. You do a jab between. Because I can show you in your face. I've showed so many people so many times, and when I show them and simplify it down to the simplest fraction, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They be like, God damn, bro. It's so simple. We make it hard. It's not fucking hard. It's not rocket science. It's very, very, very simple. Very simple because the body only works certain ways, and you have to do this and you have to do this to get this off, to get that off. And people don't understand that. I do.
I like Brian Norman is definitely a power puncher. I'm into the displays of violence that he puts on. Every time I look up, he bloodying somebody up. So with this Jin Sasaki, man, I expect it to be blood everywhere, man. And I heard you talking about upsets and whatnot. Speaking of Japan and Japanese fighters, did you catch that Ramon Cardenas in the Inoue? I know you was just talking about betting it.
Yeah, I saw it. That was a good ass fight when he dropped him. I saw the Neri fight when he dropped him too. I mean, Inoue is a good power puncher for his weight class. He's a good power puncher for his weight division, but I think he better be careful about where he's getting there because I think right now he's at the weight class where he really not more so hurt the man. He had him really out of options more than anything. He had him out of options. It's like when you get fatigued, I saw somebody the other day too about this arrow up here. When you get fatigued, you ever heard that fatigue make a coward out of any man?
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how big, bad you are. Get tired enough. You're gonna be a pussy. There's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I think not near Cardina. What's the name?
Ramon Cardina.
Cardina. I think with Cardina, he had a good plan. He had a good strong plan. Good solid power. Good solid fighter. Great fight. He came in to win. He was doing his thing. Inoue just had more grit. Inoue had more grit. I think Inoue had more stamina. I think that the damage that Cardina started taking was throwing him off more than anything. And you know how Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until you get hit in the mouth. That's how it is. Like I'm telling you about the feints and the doing it. It's your plan. but you have to be straight to get that plan to work. You can't be tired. You can't be winded. You get what I'm saying?
No, I guess
Some of that
so.
shit is
So with fainting and plant, all right, see that because that leads me into where I want to go because we're talking about pound for pound fighters, which we know Brian Norman Jr. is going to be on this list sooner
absolutely,
rather than later. So we talk about
absolutely.
pound for pound fighters. This same guy that weekend, Canelo, who fought a William Skull, he was doing a lot of fainting, moving around, things of this nature. Some people said that William Skull probably should have got the dub. How do you feel about that, or do you think that?
I think that the way William Skull fought, I think that if that was somebody made this point, they said if there was two unknown fighters, William Skull would have probably got the dub. That might be true. That's very possible that he would have. I think with the magnitude of what that fight was, I don't think he should have got the dub because I think he was trying to pussyfoot your way around it. Like, bro, have some balls. Like, go in there and handle your business. You know what I'm saying? Like, get that work in. I mean, Canelo wasn't even really doing that much. He could have did more. William Skull could have beat Canelo. He could have legitly beat Canelo if he stopped sometimes and let his hands go and then move. Stop, run them hands off and get the fuck on. Stop, run them hands off, get the fuck. Excuse me, because Canelo was allowing him to do that. Canelo was allowing him to do that. Canelo wasn't fighting. Canelo wasn't fighting like he took him seriously. Canelo wasn't fighting like a masterclass fighter at all. He wasn't. He didn't cut the ring off. It was so much things. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't fighting like I know he can fight. We done seen Canelo do a lot of things, and he wasn't trying to do none of that shit that night.
But how hard is it to cut off the ring against a guy that's basically running
not
around?
hard at all. Not hard. How big was the ring?
But
I don't know how big the ring.
Coach, what I'm talking about is the whole fight. Like how hard? Like you could say, okay, he didn't cut off the ring. Is like how? I don't know if anybody is physically able to cut off the ring against a guy who's doing that for 12 rounds. That's my
all right. No. The thing is, you know about the checkerboard, right?
Mhm.
Cutting off the ring is pretty much you just going diagonal. So if he's going around in a circle, you just step to the side. It's not hard. It's not hard. So if you're in front of me, if I would show you if I was here. If you're in front of me and you want to go, if you're in front of me and you want to go this way, that way, all I gotta do is step that way. There's no way you can go. There's no way you can go. Also, people got to remember, with that being said, the punches that William Skull was landing, he had to get close enough to, or he had to stay stationary or do what he would do there at the time. That's what Canelo should have been double. Canelo was being a lazy fighter. He didn't want to do what he needed to do to beat William Skull. He would have took. That's why he didn't want to fight. Did y'all hear when he said he didn't want to fight Terence Crawford because he moved too much?
I did.
Y'all remember
That's
that?
like what I did hear that. That's like what the Tank saying that Shakur won't let him do what he do.
Yeah. They want to do what they want to do, and they just want easy fights. That's why you have matchmakers. They want tailor-made fights. I mean, no matter who these guys are, we're not saying they're not good. I'm not saying they bums. I'm not saying none of this shit. But everybody wants an easy job. For example, you got guys in my state that's in my son's weight class, been in there for years, used to spawn when he was a kid. Still fights actively, still going out doing this and that, but won't come spar for shit. So you're like, damn, bro, you really trying to be the best? What the fuck are you trying to do? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got some. I'm saying that to say some guys are really lazy. They want the easy way out. It's like, would you if I tell you to move 12 bricks over there for $500, or if I tell you to walk over there and get a motherfucker to come move these bricks for $500, and I'm gonna pay you to get a motherfucker to move. You gonna do the easy part. You get what I'm saying? You gonna do the easy job. That's just the way it is.
Hold on, I got a question from the chat here, but before we do that, I got a $5 super chat from Mo Brains. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate the donation, my brother. And then we got another $5 from CJ Rich, man. He said, just tapping in, want to ask Norman Sr. what the ultimate goal is. Undisputed at 147 with a question mark. Multi-weight champion question mark. Give me the concrete, please.
147 undisputed. That's first. That's first and only. B getting a little more muscular. He getting a little more muscular. Whatever else, he done gained weight within the leg, and I know how that's gonna work because I went through this myself too. He don't walk around far above his weight, but lately he has been walking around a little further above his weight, a little further than I would like. But he definitely gonna go undisputed. Gonna go undisputed at 147. Then after that, I can't say. Well, he's going to move up, but I can't say when. I guess that's going to depend on his growth. Y'all got to remember, he only 24 years old. He's still not finished growing.
How high in weight classes do you think he could go when it's all said and
He
done?
thinking 60. I'm thinking 68.
Yeah, I asked him that question. Yeah, he said
Yeah,
6.
he thinking about 60. I'm thinking with the muscularness of him or whatever else. If I don't know how lazy he gonna get or how relaxed he gonna get, because all he does is train. This is like literally his life. Like his day is training. That's like, if he ain't training, he don't know what the fuck to do with this or reading or walking in the park
He
and
ain't
some shit.
training
Right?
or reading. Yeah, or reading.
Uh,
Or like Coach says, doing weird shit.
he must have heard me say something. You heard me?
He came up.
What I say?
Tell Junior I said what's up, man.
Hey, Johnny said what's up.
You're at the chill spot.
He said what's up. He said we had a chill spot. He said what's up, man. But yeah, if he ain't training, he don't know what the fuck else to do with his life except read or do some crazy shit like that.
Tell you, man, focus, bro. It's all about business. That's what I like.
But I'm saying, but listen, this is me and my history and what I went through. Of course, I had life in on my side. So with me, I got a little big at 28 naturally, even doing the same thing I was doing. And I was just cut up as he was. Now he works a lot more than I work. So I don't know if I don't know what it's gonna do, but I'm thinking about maybe 20, 25, 20, about 26, 27, he'd be 154.
A lot of smoke up there too, man. But take care of business at 147. I think that's the priority, man.
Absolutely.
You guys got any questions for Coach Brian Norman Sr.? The best way to do that, again, the chat is moving again. The best way to do that is super chat it. I could get it up. Last call here, though.
Let me tell the chat and all the fans, the fans that is here. I'm actually a pretty smart guy if you listen to me, and I'm a pretty nice guy if you listen to me.
Intelligent.
All this hate started because I believe in my boy. That's the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. And then they tell me what I don't want to. I'm like, well, damn. I guess because you have a losing mentality, I gotta have a losing mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like, my son ain't lost a fight in over 10 years. Or 10 years, damn near. Like, what are we talking about? Why the fuck would I be afraid of anybody? You feel what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of nobody. He's not afraid of nobody. You feel what the fuck you think we just picking out people say, oh no, I can't beat him? No, because we picked everybody that he fought. He won. He didn't selectively pick people when he was coming through the nationals. He beat everybody. You feel what I'm saying? That's whoever the fuck was there. That's how it works.
I tell people that all the time. I mean, he's confident in his son's ability, and he's not afraid to
shit crazy. They put what they think and what they feel on me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't live and go how I go. You ain't been where I've been. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't seen what I see. The boys he's a phenomenal talent, and he gonna show him, and he gonna keep showing him, and shit. I'm gonna keep being proud.
Nah, man. It's again, man. I tell you this all the time. I love you guys, man.
Well, you too, big dog.
I wish you nothing. Take care of business in Japan.
Absolutely.
That way we can move on to bigger and better things. And then I'm gonna reach out to Junior too, because like I said, I got to get the logistics to see if I could catch up with y'all when y'all get back to ATL.
Yeah.
Can I ask one last question?
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to ask one last question. I'm sorry. I know you're going out to Japan, right? And
right.
we know we've seen Floyd when he fight Mexican fighters, right? And he come out with the Mexican flag, regalia, and things of this nature. Yeah. I'm curious. Is that something that Brian Norman has thought about going over to Japan? Is he gonna rock out with the Japanese flag attire?
Now, it's funny you should ask that. I think he made this shit 2 days ago or last night before, some shit like that. Our colors is the Japan color, white and red.
Wow.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Breaking news. That's breaking news here on the Hangout spot. That's breaking news.
We come with the Japan color, white and red. I ordered the suits and shit last night, so we come with the white and red.
Okay, for sure.
I'm telling you, man. We going to Japan. We cooking. I just wish I was going, bro.
Man, we ain't playing with nobody. Hey, look, the thing about boxing, the good thing about boxing is it's a team sport, but once you get in that ring, it's not a team sport. You feel what I'm saying? Right. When you get in that ring, it's mano a mano, and nobody, the country, the people, the fans, the haters, nobody can fight for the opponent. So it's all about what have you done, the work you done put in, you know what I'm saying, what you didn't put in. It's all about that. And we ain't gonna leave out the most important part. if God shined the light on you that night. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about that or whatever. So that's the bottom line. You feel me?
For sure, man. You getting a lot of love from the chat, Coach.
Oh shit, I appreciate it. You know I get cooked in everybody else chat.
I was about to say, somebody said, hold on, somebody said in the chat, I enjoyed this convo the most. Everywhere else, you're under fire.
But hey, look, and it always look like I'm on the defense. But if anybody about, like I just said, with the guy you heard, listen, you heard that the guy yesterday, you know, that's about 1.7, 1 point. You heard that shit, and I'm answering the questions exactly like he fucking saying, but he not listening. You feel what I'm saying? But that's how it is. They so emotional about this shit. They refuse to listen to the words that are coming out of my fucking mouth. You feel what I'm saying? You see people in there, his lips are moving, so you know what's going on. He lying. Like, I'm lying about what? What is there lying about? You feel what I'm saying? There's nothing to lie about. This shit is crazy, man.
It's crazy, man. But you love it. I know you love it. You love it because you continue. I was like, yo, I don't know how Coach get good.
Yeah. It passed the time. Yep. Here is a lot better. Here, I love it that heat and that smoke a lot better because I'm away from my life. My life is very, very, very busy when I'm at home. I got a lot of shit to do when I'm back in the A and I'm back in the line and shit I got to do. But now that people know I'm removed from this shit, they know they can't call on me to do certain shit, so I ain't getting the same calls. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? So here I can, usually when I'm at home, I find myself neglecting certain shit because I'm fucking with them. I'm fucking with the people. You get what I'm saying? Right. So I find myself like, damn, I was supposed to do this. Damn, I was supposed to do that. So I might have to stay up late to do this or to do that. You know what I'm saying? But here, I got all the fucking time in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I sit up sometimes and I look for smoke.
I feel you, man.
I don't. But wait. Let me say that I don't respond to everybody no more. So we got to applaud that. I don't respond to everybody no more because I understand that some people just don't want. Like the guy yesterday, even though I'm answering the question exactly like I'm supposed to answer, and I'm telling you what's going on. I hate nothing but facts. I'm like, damn, bro. Why this guy didn't have to say that? Why this guy? Why is this shit a double standard? You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm saying this, that nobody hearing it. But why? Well, why? Like. So I realize that some people just don't want to listen, but I still look for smoke sometime, and sometimes I might say something, but most of the time now I don't. I just look for the smoke to see if it makes sense.
And
I look for the smoke to see.
And Coach is always watching. He's always watching.
I'm always on here. When I say something out, I'm always on it.
My man Mo Brain says Sasaki gonna be Sasushi.
We've done everything we could do to see. We've done everything we could do to see. We've done everything we could do to see if there's anything we leaving out or missing. I don't see anything, and I don't see him lasting.
Nah,
I just don't see it.
You're crossing the T's, dotting the I's. I got one last question. $2 super chat.
Hold on, my phone brought up in the ring. Hold on one second.
From Badger 1, $2 super chat. One last question for Coach before we let him go. Coach, who you got? Keyshawn versus De Los Santos.
As a hard one, man, I like Keyshawn. I recently just became a fan of Keyshawn. We sparred with De Los Santos, shared the ring with him. He's a hard puncher. He's more than meets the eye, like my son is. Like people think that's another thing that people get misconstrued because they think that that's why I want to put that out there. They think that because you only see a person do something in the ring because you've seen them do it that fight, you think that's all they can do. That's not the case. That's not the case with De Los Santos. It's not the case with my sons. Like they can do more than what you think they can do. People are not just in the gym training and not learning shit and not learning how to do shit. You get what I'm saying? They're gonna do what they need to do to win that fight. Simple as that. But De Los Santos is he's very well-rounded. He's a well-rounded fighter. And he's been out of the ring for a very, very long time. He's been out of the ring since November 2023 because his last fight was on our card, on the same card we fought on, November 2023. You know what I'm saying? So I think November 16th, 2023 to be exact. We fought on that same exact card. We was a co-main event. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go with I ain't got no pick. Fuck it. I ain't got no pick. I mean, never had to say with the activity that Keyshawn been in. and he's hot and he's high on himself. I'm gonna have to go with Keyshawn, but I really, really, really like De Los Santos. You know what I'm saying? Personally, I really like him. So I kind of want De Los Santos to win, but I like Keyshawn too, though. You know what I'm saying? As a boxer, I've never met Keyshawn, but I like him as a boxer. So I don't want his reign to end or, nothing to happen to him or whatever else. But I want De Los Santos to win. I just leave it at that.
There you have it.
I'd be rooting for De Los Santos.
There you have it, Badger One. From the coach himself, Coach Brian Norman Sr., my guy. I call him Uncle B. I love you, Coach. Yo,
man.
I got to get with
This
Junior
fire.
because, like I said, I'm gonna try to get up, meet y'all up in ATL when y'all come back for a couple days.
All right, man. That what it do, man. It's been nice rocking out with y'all, man. Let y'all that champ 1 second, man. Hold on and see what's up to you, man.
Yeah, get the champ up there. I want to say what's up to my brother, man.
B.
Sure.
Hold on.
Champ, man. That's dope. We found out they're gonna be wearing the white and red going to Japan.
Dope. Breaking news here, bro. Breaking news. That's how we do it up here at the Hangout spot, y'all.
I know y'all can't see me, but what's up, though?
Who that? That's a champ, my brother.
What up, though?
Yeah, what's good with y'all, boy?
What's going on, champ? How's training going, man?
Man, I can't call it. I might spoil it, man.
I'm getting that work. I'm watching all your videos. Obviously, I love seeing you jump rope. I could just watch the champ jump rope, bro. I think that shit is special. But nah, man, I just wanted to show some love, man. I know you're doing your thing up in Big Bear, bro. Getting ready for that next notch, baby.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. We out here making history, man. The South got something to say. We out here screaming that thing goddamn Japan.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna reach out to you because I'm gonna try to catch up with you in the ATL when y'all come back for a couple of days.
I got you, boss, man.
All right, man. I appreciate you, champ. Keep putting that work in, man. Nothing but love. You know that. You my brother.
I got you, boss. Likewise.
All right.
All right, dog. I get at you, man.
Appreciate you, coach.
Appreciate you.
All right, bet. Yeah.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Brian Norman Sr. and Brian Norman Jr. made an appearance right there just to say what's up at the end.
That's dope, man. One of the more violent fighters we have in boxing right now. That's
got to give my family a round of applause, man. I mean, this was an amazing show, man. If you guys tuned in late, make sure you go back and check out the recording on the Hangout spot. As soon as the show is over, it'll be right there at the channel. While you're there, call somebody and tell them, yo, subscribe to my man, bro. He's doing it up over there, man. There's power in numbers. We're trying to get up to 2,000 subscribers in about a year. So we're moving pretty quick, man, because we're making a lot of traction, but I wouldn't be able to do it without my family members, my community, the Boxing Voice community who comes out and they support me, man, and has welcomed me with open arms, man. But great interview with Adrian Clark earlier, CEO of Fighters First Management, obviously the manager of Brian Norman Jr., the welterweight champion. And great interview there. We kind of got into the mind of a boxing manager, right? I love to do that. And then we got Treese up in here. Treese, was asking some questions and getting some insight. Good job on your part, brother.
Oh man, I appreciate the opportunity, bro. I appreciate you for having me up here, man. For
your family, bro. You family as well as everybody else in the chat. You guys are all family. That's how we do it up here at the Hangout spot. And obviously, we got Brian Norman Sr. to jump on, bro, because he's always lurking. He's always watching, and he gave us our take of what's going on in training and what can we expect. As we know, the champ is going to come in with the Japan colors, enemy mode, bro. That's the equivalent of coming in to fight a Mexican with the sombrero and the Mexican colors. I totally love that shit, But for all of y'all in the chat, yeah, man, damn, we've been going extra. We did overtime today. We did some overtime. We don't have a show scheduled for tomorrow. But we may go live again at 9:00. I'm not sure. Open up the phone lines. We didn't open up the phone lines. I love to get the callers involved. We may do that. If not, we will be back at it Thursday. I got undefeated lightweight prospect, Derek Scooter Davis. He will be in the building. 6-0, 6 knockouts. He was on the Boxing Voice about a week ago or whatnot. I reached out to him. I was actually on the panel when we interviewed him on the evening show, and I love his energy. He's smart. He's a great interview. And I reached out because I want my community and my members to get a chance to meet him and ask him some questions that I didn't get a chance to ask him while I was on the panel. So we're gonna have him on Thursday night. That should be a really good interview. And then after that, we're gonna work overtime. I'm gonna open up the phone lines and get the callers involved, man. Because like I said, this ain't no show if it ain't if I don't get my people involved in it. But Treese, appreciate you rocking out with me, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
And I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you for the donations and the super chats. Much love. And make sure, again, you check out the beginning part of the interview if you were not on. And rock out with us again on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same bat time, same bat channel. As always, love you guys. Thank you for the love and support. This is your boy Johnny signing out from the Hangout Spot Live, and I will talk to everybody Thursday. Peace, Treese.
Peace. Y'all be cool, man.
You already know.